option, I'm noticing.
And we're live.
Hi.
I checked off chat option. Is this it?
Let's see. Chat.
There it is.
Hey, there we go.
All right.
All right. Is okay, I'm gonna tweet about it. Hey everybody. Jake
It
here.
should also have automatically posted to the Hey Jake and Josh Twitter
Let me
that we went live.
Go into the Twitters. I've got the hashtags up for questions and stuff. And we actually, yes, it did. I started a live stream on youtube.com.
Okay, sweet. Party.
I will retweet
Hello
that.
everybody.
Oh,
I
phone.
really hope everyone can see the chat. Or the chat that they type in is what pops up here.
If you get here and there is no chat, you can't hear me say this right now because you're not here. But click the little bubble. It's on the top of the left bar.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like speech.
Oh, this just says group chat. This doesn't say like live chat.
But we are live and it's public.
Yes. Hold on. I might have to pull it up on my computer.
Then just cancel this.
No, I mean like have a second one up so we can see the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, we can see the chat. It's right there.
This is a group chat. This is, I think, just between us and Alan.
Oh, okay.
So,
Hey, everybody. We're professionals.
hey, can you tell?
I mean, it's not our fault that Google decided it wouldn't be intuitive in any way to do this.
Yeah.
Just give me a checkbox that does what it says.
Because there was a
That's all I
whole
want.
Q&A feature the last time we did this, but I don't remember. Since you set all that up, I have no idea.
I did not see anything that said Q&A.
I think that was in the old Hangouts back when things worked properly.
Back in the old yonder days of April, we could play Roll20 through Hangouts.
All right. The olden days. We have 5 viewers.
Okay.
Oh, hi, people.
Somebody type in the
7
chat.
viewers.
Somebody please type in the chat. I just want to see if I'm right, and that's just a private chat for us.
And if there is no chat, tweet at us, hashtag PWT United, so that we can see it.
Or PWT Ask.
Or yes, hashtag PWT Ask.
Okay, so I just got a... Oh my god, what is going on over here? Okay.
There's one that has the hashtag PWT Ask that is not.
There's two at the bottom. Yeah,
language.
Yeah, those are just from other language. I don't know. They're from.
Riley says on the streaming page for YouTube there should be a chat on the right of the screen.
Yeah, we're not on that.
I can pull up YouTube, I guess.
Oh, that's
because again,
we are talking in the chat. Ha ha ha.
Why would it be?
We are not seeing you, unfortunately, Riley.
I'm on YouTube. I'm on the YouTube part.
We're on YouTube right now.
So I'm glad you guys can ask each other questions. I would love
if you.
What if I just go to the video?
As I say, if you go to the video,
we're kind of videoception here.
Here we are.
I'm here.
This is gonna.
I see the chat now.
Okay, you're gonna have to mute this because we're 40 minutes behind on this. It's gonna drive me crazy.
I can't do this.
Mute this video. This is a nightmare.
Where is the mute? I can't.
No, mute the actual.
Oh, okay.
Video.
All right.
Christ
Holy cow!
On the cross. This is a nightmare.
This is bad. Whoever made this did bad.
Okay. Go to the nailed.
Here's what I'm gonna. Here's what.
Don't lie to us.
Here's what else I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open up our window with Alan.
Okay, and put it.
And I'm gonna shrink it down and put it over the other video.
Oh my god, we are the least prepared boys in podcast town.
There.
This is the jankiest setup there ever was.
And I'm gonna screen cap this.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna be an exclusive BTS of this mess.
So we did it. We have the chat in our real-time video on the left.
Okay, there we go. Now we can see the chat. We can see us, and we're not talking 3 minutes behind or however long it is. So
yeah, I've got a similar setup. I've got them casted over on my other screen. So
hopefully this doesn't eat my internet like a Langolier.
I love eating Langoliers. I do it all the time.
I wonder if you can pause the video and the chat still go.
We're not going to try it.
Yeah,
we don't need. do anything just to see if it happens.
Yeah, that sounds.
It was hard enough getting here.
Enough of a nightmare. Okay, so
it also has a pop-out function.
No, we already got it set up. We're good.
Okay.
I don't want to mess with anything.
Okay, cool. So, somebody asked us some questions.
We've got a bunch on Twitter from folks.
Okay, who is Jazzasloth? I don't recognize that name. Look, everyone is bad at podcasting. It's a tricky sorcery that no one's quite worked out yet.
That's Joe Hadfield. Hi, Joe.
Oh, hey, Joe. What's up? It's it's a mess. Podcasting's a sham, is what I'm saying to you. All right, I'm gonna pull up. We got a couple previous ones. I guess we'll start there. Boy, thank you, Portia. We got a lot from Portia.
Yes,
so
lots of questions. Thank you.
Okay, so as a joke, I wanted to start with the ones from 2014 in a different language, but I would be definitely offensive by doing that. And that's
just a lot of it.
That's not where I want to live. So here we are. Okay, this is from Crash. Crash says,
Crash just jumped into the chat.
Hey, look at that. They say, following the contest episode, are there any non-gym related mechanics you guys are excited to adapt to tabletop? First off, the contest mechanics are in the book, so that wasn't us.
Luckily, that wasn't us.
We have ideas for how the Safari Zone is going to work, and we're going to kind of make it. Alan and I do.
Oh, good. And Jake does, and sort of.
Should we reveal a little bit?
I mean, you can tell me later. We'll leave everyone else.
Yeah, okay. It's going to be not the Safari Zone. Throw rocks at Pokemon until you can catch them, because that seems
cruel,
horrible, cruel. But we're going to be adapting a side game into this game. Hopefully, that's the plan. Oh, and Artley is here. And
hey.
Jake, yes, I got secrets as is tradition.
So the other thing that immediately springs to my mind, and I don't know how or when, so stay tuned, but I would kind of love, and this may be a season 2 thing, to work in the movie studio.
I don't know how that will work. That would be a season 2 thing if we can figure it out.
But I just think that would be really fun to like create an episode that was essentially like your films that you make.
You mean the movie studio like in Kalos?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like record in a program called Movie Studio, and I was like, you were going way over my head with this.
No, I'm not. No one's gonna edit those. We can't not edit those.
It would be hard to do a movie mechanic in an audio medium.
Yeah, as a rule. Yeah. We got one from.
We could adapt it to something else. Stay tuned.
I would like obedience to be a mechanic, so we could kind of simulate Ash's Charizard and or even just the gym badge progression of something won't listen to you until you are like worthy enough of it.
Can I reveal something to everybody? We're very bad at keeping track of levels and stats and stuff.
We're just taking the curtain down. Huh?
Yeah, we level everybody up occasionally, like periodically.
When it feels right.
When it feels right, and we feel like we've done enough to gain a level. But I could not tell you, gun to my head, what anyone's level is right now, except for Nissa, who is 1 because she's a baby.
I know most of the levels of your Pokemon.
Alan keeps track of that stuff. We don't.
I do. And to kind of to get to that, I believe there is a mechanic for friendliness, which is kind of how the Pokemon responds to you, but I actually don't really like it as written. So I would have to modify it before we implemented it.
If I'm being honest, I don't like 90% of Tabletop United as written.
Well, it's 100% better than Tabletop Adventures.
That is true. That is to make sense and not just like be too mechanical and make no sense.
And it just doesn't. So I hope that answered your question.
Everybody wants the movie studio for Rose and Cobalt to break off and do in-universe podcasts.
So that was actually
Hey, Rose and Cobalt, says Riley.
That was kind of my thought.
Look, season 2 goes to Johto. Johto introduced the radio on the Poké Gear.
Revealing now that season 2 will be Johto. I guess we're doing that also.
Oh, hey, surprise.
Surprise.
Oops, this is live, huh? Let me take it again. Let me take it
one more time. I'll cut
We're live, pal.
Relax. Lewis asked, how many canon outfits for Biscuit have been seen versus how many were planned, if planned at all?
Oh, boy.
I don't think they're planned ahead, are they, Alan?
I feel they feel like
some of them aren't.
A lot of it is like if we get to a thing, we'll just be like, hey, what's Biscuit wearing right now?
like if I haven't heard from Biscuit in a little bit, I'll be like, what's up? What's going on with Biscuit right now?
Some of them have been planned in advance. For example, I knew what Biscuit was going to be wearing in the interlude so far ahead of time that I actually attempted to sketch it. And I sent it to Jake and Josh for them to see. But yeah, a lot of Biscuit's outfits are just kind of reflections of what's going on in the moment and what is Victor feeling like that day? What kind of works? So yeah.
Okay.
Victor will always wear clothes.
Okay, on our end, we did hear. Yeah, I hope Victor wears clothes. He's a person.
Yeah,
he can't run around naked. So we're hitting some weird lag, Alan. You're just like.
You are.
So what we're gonna do is someone tell us how to do this pop-out chat, and we're gonna close the video so we don't have 2 videos running on top of each other on this poor baby computer.
Well, let's see. What if we click these 3 dots?
Okay.
Pop-out
Give
chat.
us some options. Pop-out
chat. Boom.
Okay.
There it is. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is close the YouTube page.
All right.
And pray.
It'll be fine. Don't worry.
Done.
Okay. Hopefully that helps a lot because
we got a pop-out chat. We got a pop-up video.
Pop-up video.
Is that just like a Pavlovian tick that everyone has when you say pop-up video? I'm also going to bring this a little bit closer so I can lean back a little bit.
Okay. Absolutely, it is Pavlovian.
Okay, cool. So, also, Rose and Cobalt doing a podcast inside a podcast is a cute idea, but is untenable to do.
It is a joke, maybe one time.
Yeah, maybe one episode.
Not even a full episode. We could just do a blurb and just have it come on while we're tuning the radio. That'd be cute.
We'll stay document somewhere, but don't expect it.
I'm trying to brainstorm good ideas on a live chat, and it can't be secret if we do that, huh?
Buddy,
yeah, no.
Okay, so next up, this is from Rose / Cobalt / Victor were captains. What would their trials involve?
Victor's would be a contest, straight up.
Just like a straight up contest.
Well, I mean, it would probably be modified, obviously, but I feel like Victor as a captain, to him, strength doesn't mean a lot. It's all about the bond between the trainer and their Pokemon. And so there would be contest elements and basically kind of how much do you love your friend?
Okay. Real quick, Cameron asked in the chat, is it going to be a format? No, this is a video exclusive because we tried to live stream while recording on Josh's computer. It would crash. It would crash 10 minutes in. It just wouldn't happen.
But the video will be available on demand.
Yeah, the video will be
on the YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch it at any time.
Also, my hair has a lot of ideas right now. And it's just doing a lot of stuff to put up. It's driving me crazy. So I Road would be an obstacle course. And cops do obstacles.
Okay, so in your obstacle course, do you have to climb while you swim a lake?
I don't know a whole lake,
but a pool.
You gotta do
a simulator,
a
lake simulation.
You guys are lagging really bad still. Just letting you know.
Well, we've done as much as we could do.
Literally, there's nothing else we can do
except for stopping the chat.
And that would probably be a bad idea. Although I am following it, so I can monitor the chat if you think that would help.
Well, yeah. We're also laggy to the chat. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure.
Well,
Hey guys,
Is it just Jake
don't
and
tell
Josh
anybody
that are laggy?
but like fuck YouTube pretty much.
Is it just Jake and
Is it
Josh
just
that are
us?
laggy, or is it the whole thing?
Well, we're broadcasting, so I'm assuming it's gonna be you two. I can barely
Probably.
understand you when okay.
It's just you guys. Apparently
It's
mine's
just
coming
us?
through clean. Yep.
We
So
can close this and start a new one and try your computer.
Yeah, I can do it on my computer. It would take us like 10 minutes to set up. Alan, you need to say something back if you like want.
Oh, sorry. I mean, that is completely up to you. Like I said, I'm fine monitoring chat if you want to close that to see if it helps or.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to close this and we're going to set up.
And we'll just hop back into this chat because the link is in our Twitter.
Yeah, we have the link to get into the video, so we should be able to jump in. Just Alan, stay on the line.
Okay, I will stay on the line and entertain the good people. Oh,
here's what's going to happen. We're going to close the window and it will stop the broadcast, though, because we're broadcasting.
Will it stop the broadcast, though?
Alan, do you have a button that says stop broadcast on your side?
I have an end call, but not stop broadcast.
No, that's shit. Okay. So that's gonna kill the whole thing.
All right, everybody, hold on, like 10 minutes. We're just gonna start over on my computer, which is wired in, and hopefully my internet will not be a piece of garbage. So,
stay tuned. Did it stop?
I don't think so.
Did you click it?
I did.
I'm just gonna close it.
You heard me click it.
So am I still broadcasting? It still says it's live. I don't know what's going on. So you guys can still see me. I'm still here. Okay, cool. So I will hold down the fort. Let me let me type a message real quick to them. So stream is still live. So jump back in when you can. Oh, please, God. Okay, so hi. What's up? So I'm gonna, I guess, continue answering questions, that kind of thing. One that I think I can answer is from Portia. What is the biggest, oh my God, I didn't expect them to do that, what do I do to steer them back moment? Sing a show tune. I actually do like to sing, but I'm not going to subject you guys to that because that would be cruel. But anyways, so an unexpected moment. Honestly, they've been pretty good about keeping with my plans. A lot of the times they will surprise me in ways that I can pretty easily wiggle around to. A good example is when they were infiltrating the rocket base. I literally had 5 or 6 encounters that I had planned that they just skipped, just straight up went flying past because they were being sneaky and stealthy and doing really good things. So I was very, very proud of them. Hi, everybody. Hi, Travis. But yeah, I just really enjoy DMing for these two and for Shannon. I feel like I tell this story all the time, but the biggest oh my God moment was the very first episode, which for kind of some context, the first time we recorded was, I believe, the 3rd time we had ever spoken. We had talked once to kind of talk about the concept. We met again to make characters, and then we met the 3rd time and recorded episode 1. And they had just gotten out of the lab, and they were like, oh, okay, cool, so we're on our Pokemon journey. Hey, isn't there a ferry that goes to Cinnabar Island? And if you listen to that episode, there is a pause. And that pause is my heart dying and having existential terror. And lots of silent Googling was happening. So I was jumping on to Google, kind of looking up, oh crap, I've got to make new Pokemon. I've got to, like, all of my plans are changing. And then I think it was Jake that was just like, nah, let's just go on Route 1. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So they went on Route 1, and the rest is history. Another really good time where they kind of surprised me a little bit was Viridian Forest. Viridian Forest was only supposed to be 1 or 2 episodes, but at one point Jake was like, hey, let's get lost in the woods after the recording of the first episode. So we kind of asked Shannon, we were like, so are you cool with being on like way more episodes than you intended to be on? And of course she agreed, and the rest is kind of history. So I asked Jake, this sounds cool, can I make it a ghost story? And that's kind of where Pepper was born, was out of that. Earlier in the chat, way earlier, where was it? Riley asked if they ever subverted what I wanted, made you panic intensely. So yeah, this is kind of answering that question. And not really. I'm really lucky in that, thank God they're back. Okay, hi. Hi,
okay,
you're there.
Hello. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you yet,
Hold on.
Alan. Give us a second. We get our headphones in. We just didn't want to leave you stranded.
Hey, everybody. If you've ever wondered what doing a podcast with Jake and Josh is like, it's a lot like this.
It's an awful, awful mess.
It's a lot like this every single time.
So
I know you're talking to the chat at this point because I don't even have my headphones in. And then you're going to get to hear an even cooler thing if our headphones just don't work right away.
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Alan, can you talk?
check.
You are
See, now they're getting to see my check dance.
Okay. All right.
This is, oh man, you guys are just getting a full tour of the sausage factory.
Oh boy, this is a nightmare. Okay. See, now we don't have the chat though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the thing we just did and hope that because my computer is and also hardwired in. Go to home. Go to
or
my.
just go to the channel. Either one.
Okay. Well, I went to home. Here
We are getting a lot of love for your spicy boy in chat. We talked a little bit about Pepper and Viridian Forest and things like that, about how you guys took some left turns that I wasn't expecting, but I was mostly complimenting you guys on how well we work together and kind of being flexible in story structure. So
okay, I'm just gonna
chat
pause.
still works. I've got it still pulled up.
Okay, see. All right, hold on.
Pop out chat.
Pop out chat.
Close the
Pop
internet.
up video.
Shut it all down.
Shut it all down. Abort mission on this, and then pull the chat up.
Yeah,
there. All right, we're back in business.
I did see earlier that we got another question about Brooklyn. I think it was, do we have anything else planned like Brooklyn? And for those of you that don't remember, Brooklyn is our icy Squirtle boy.
My mighty boy.
Listeners.
Oh, I mean,
listeners.
I
have a Google Doc full of type shifted Pokemon.
Also, there is Cadence, who was introduced in the same episode.
Yeah.
So Cadence, Pepper, Brooklyn. I'm trying to think of who other have we met and confirmed that they're type shifted.
The Diglett in Mount Moon.
The Diglett, the rock Diglett.
Are we loud enough, by the way?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. All right, good. You're good.
We definitely have more planned. We've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
We've got a ton planned, and so I'm constantly thinking of type shifts. I think one of my favorite type shifts that I've done that I haven't introduced yet, I literally took the base Pokemon and replaced every single move but one.
Is that the one introduced in?
No,
Act
you haven't met it yet.
Okay, all right. There's a couple more. We just recorded episode 34, so we're a little bit ahead. And let me just say, I'm very excited to introduce everybody to Bite Squad. Very excited. Hashtag Bite Squad. So I'm going to actually turn Alan up a little bit.
That's
and so we've got a question from Riley. How is Scoops doing? Scoops is doing very well.
Somebody tried to type Scoops out phonetically. That looks like Joe.
I think it's SKEWPS is the accepted vernacular.
And what's funny is after I did Ross, because literally, again, kind of pulling back the curtain, I literally watched how to do French accent videos for probably 45 minutes before we recorded. so that I would.
That's a lot of work.
So that I would have the least amount of offensiveness as possible.
Umlauts.
Umlaut.
Courtesy of Riley.
There's the rub.
So yeah.
Okay.
I lost that accent real bad.
It was amazing. You also brought it back, sort of.
That's what I mean. I lost it in the interlude.
Well, it was the interlude, but you also did it for Matt's for Trey's Pokedex in his.
You want to know like a WTF, like I don't know what to do with myself moment? That. Because I
didn't have to. I asked and you said yes, but you didn't have to.
But at the same time, it was a good goof and it was funny. So I recorded the Pokedex entry like normal, and then Jake was like, "But yeah, do it with a French accent though."
Yeah, he's from Kalos. What? Come on.
It was perfect.
Okay. We got an email. I feel like we should kind of jump back into questions. We got an email from Christina who could not make it because she had to work, but she did send us a couple questions.
Cool.
So, she says, hopefully non-spoilery. So these are fine. I think they're fine. First off, this is to all of us. What region do you want to play in Tabletop United?
Like the most, I'm assuming.
Yeah. What region would we most like to play?
Johto.
Which as somebody spoiled earlier, we're going there. Next
For me,
season.
Alola. I really want to go to the beach.
I think Alola would be a fun mini series. It just doesn't seem like enough. I
want to make it enough. Like to me, they're the seeds of such interesting stuff in Alola and such cool stories that you could tell in that environment. That's what draws me to Alola. Is I think I could take that setting and flesh it out and make it really full.
Look, here's the thing.
Well, it'd be hard to do worse trials.
That's true. Also, here's the thing. I have a character ready. Like
yeah, that's right. Well, no. I'm not saying like I want to do Alola now. Like just future talk. I do want to do Alola.
Let's jump into the chat before some of these scroll away and I forget them. Portia asked up a little bit.
Is Victor gonna talk to his dad?
Is Victor gonna meet his dad?
His dad. I keep looking at myself in the thing, so it looks like I'm just looking off camera, and I'm sorry about that.
So I'm going to steal something from my favorite current living author, and I know that is extremely
a lot of qualifications there.
A lot of qualifications. Brandon Sanderson, and he has a thing called Raffo. I'm going to change it to Lafo. Listen and find out. That is a major, major, major spoiler, but it is addressed. I will say that.
Also, Riley, it's not anti-Sun and Moon propaganda. We just wanted them to finish the game.
I like the game. The game is fun.
Do that.
They just like announced it too soon and didn't have time to finish it. Maybe Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon will be finished.
Yeah, you could ride a Lapras, but you could only ride a Lapras or a Sharpedo. And
and I pretended it was my Lapras and I was happy.
Well,
and I got to catch a Lapras in the wild, and I was very happy about that.
Yeah, that does not a good game make though. I mean, yeah.
We did have another one. I missed who asked it.
Let's see.
Right there. By Joe Hatfield. If you do Alola, will you finish it? Yeah, it'll be a finished, fully realized region if we do it.
Yes, we will finish the whole thing.
I'm so curious what's on the island that is mostly blank. The last island that you visit, that there's very little there.
Pony Island. Oh, a canyon.
A canyon that should have been a trial.
And a painter girl who's like, I'm a captain. Here's the thing, because I don't have a trial. But
here's
also,
the
whole island is a trial that could have just been my trial. I don't know.
Booty.
I think that island could be very interesting.
It's booty.
That game got so unfocused at the end, and I'm so disappointed.
The next question from Christina is, what is your favorite outfit that a Pokemon has worn?
Treble's Bam Bam Piccolo pajamas.
Very, very good. That was real good. Alan, you got a favorite?
Oh God. For me, it's kind of tied. I love the sparkly dress that Biscuit wore on the SS Anne. But I also just adore Minor Chansey from right before Mount Moon with her hard hat and her pickaxe. And it's just super cute to me.
That was a good one. My favorite is. Oh, I don't know. I cut out all these dead silences in the podcast, but I can't cut them out now, and I'm getting a little anxious about it. I'm just gonna say biscuits jammies because that was the first one, and that kind of was like, hey, were you guys wondering what this show is about?
Yeah,
here it is.
Kickstarted our whole brand.
Here's what we do here. The last one, and I'm hoping that you guys can parse this a little better than me. Biggest missed catch, one that you all have encountered as of the Act 1 interlude. Does that mean like thing we tried to catch?
That is, or a Pokemon that you wanted, but for some reason didn't catch or it got away.
And for you, it's gotta be the Tailo, right?
It's just the Tailo. What else have I failed on?
Have I? Oh, you know what got away? Like what I didn't try to catch but should have. That old Onyx.
Yeah.
That old smooth Onyx.
Yeah, he was neat.
All right. Hey, Joe. Crossovers are banned everywhere, buddy. They banned in audio. They banned in video.
Also, Matt does point out Private Sai.
Private Sai is also very good.
Yeah.
So back on the Twitter side of things, we actually got a couple of new questions. And we've got some older questions too. The older questions are from Portia. What were your early concepts for your characters before you landed on Rose and Cobalt?
Josh, you go first.
Did I don't think I had one.
You didn't.
I was like, I'll just be me. And then as we went, I just cranked it up.
I had a lot of ideas. At first I didn't know what I was going to go with. I always wanted, I had like a list of like things, and there was like having a Nidoran, and I don't know, like a Nidoran female. I don't know what that would have turned into, like character wise for me. I had Togepi on there for earlier. Apparently, first Togepi was going to be my starter, and then I came up with Rose, like, you know, having a Growlithe because she's Jenny. So like I went that way, but I was always going to be a troublemaker, and I think that's all I had. But like Pokemon changed a lot until I landed on Bango, and that's also why we got I got Scramble right away, is because I wanted one real bad.
Yeah, that's basically why we wrote the eggs in, is because like I'm going to start with a Cyndaquil, but I also want to start with a male Nidoran.
Yeah.
So we did the egg thing at the beginning to kind of get both of them in there.
Hold on, there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat. So Riley says, if Rose and Cobalt weren't Pokemon adventurers and had to take like day jobs, what would they have been? If I mean, in canon, if Rose could not have been a Pokemon adventurer, she would have had to go to the academy, and that'd be a bummer for her, because that was like the deal. I think it's like touched on and mentioned a little bit. I don't know if it's fully fleshed out, but yeah, that she would be a cop, and it would suck for her.
Cobalt would probably be like a professor's assistant.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And then Joe is trying to say that we can't refer to things as being Chris Jericho. That's a reference. It's not a crossover. There's a difference. Go listen to my episode of WTF Anime, where we talked about Digimon for 5 minutes, and for every 5 minutes of Digimon, we talked about 10 minutes of wrestling. So
yeah, that's fair. I think that's a fair estimate.
If you're into that, that's what I'm into.
and I think Victor is pretty obvious in that he would have been a groomer. I think eventually he might have opened a daycare, but definitely went the grooming path, at least at first.
Oh, here's a good one. What Pokemon would Rose, Cobalt, and Victor be?
Not legendaries, because Rose would want to be a Lugia. If I probably something cat like, because she's kind of a cat. She'd probably be like a, what's that one that
Purloin?
Yeah, Purloin. That's just like a jerk
good
cat.
I like
a
good Purloin. What's just a I bet
Cobalt.
Cobalt would be a Spinda. If I had
that
to
also
guess.
makes a lot of sense. You know what? She might also be a Teddy Ursa, just because she will do something without thinking about it a lot of time. Which I kind of got away from, and I need to get back to. I need to work on my impulsiveness. Is there something we wish we could? There's a lot of y'alls in that sentence, Matt. You're tripping me up. Is there something y'all wish y'all could go back and redo? I all wish that we could go back and I not redo, but I wish I saved the audio for the first episode. I guess that's the only one that I'm thinking of. Alan, do you have anything that you wish we could redo? We've redone a couple episodes.
We have redone a couple of episodes.
They just they exploded.
Yeah, we had to redo some of Viridian Forest and we had to redo some of Mount Moon. No, actually. The thing that I like about the way we do it is it's first take. This is what the game that we are playing as we are playing it. You are experiencing it with us. So it's dynamic and it feels very real. It doesn't, to me, the temptation with going back and redoing things becomes scripting. And I really don't like that.
Yeah, there's a fine line that we walk behind the scenes of, I want to do this thing, and then trying not to shoehorn it in in a way that would make it sound really forced. So like we give Alan a lot of ideas and kind of just trust him to fit them in if they work, and if they don't, they don't. A lot of the Pokemon we made like a list of Pokemon that we wanted to catch, and then just a bunch more just kept showing up.
I wanted, it was the episode right before Brooklyn and Cadence came in when we were on with Scoot, and I told Alan, I was like, I don't want any more Pokemon because I can't give attention to all of the ones I have already. And then he was like, here's an ice type Hoot Hoot, and I think I might have swore at him when it showed up. So I'm not done catching Pokemon like I wanted to be.
Adam Condon asks, will we get more Private Psi?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Like the second or third episode of Act 2, he shows up. So don't worry about that. There is some Private Psi coming.
So Riley asks, so if Cobalt is scared of Mr. Mimes, are Victor and Rose scared of any Pokemon?
No.
Yes.
Tough.
Victor is really scared of Giratina. He does not really like Gengar. He like a lot of the ghost types. He doesn't like them very much. It's part of the reason why he doesn't like Cronenberg, aside from the whole biscuit theft. But yeah, ghost types get him the creeps.
Can you make the chat a little longer?
A little longer, yes.
Like 4 replies coming in at a time.
Yeah,
we've got lots of people fighting about y'alls. I saw somebody up here.
Well, it's a nightmare word, so that's understandable.
Don't you even go there. Johnny Calamari asks, I'm late. Did they talk about which Pokemon Go team their characters would be? That's my question.
It's very obvious for Cobalt since he's the leader of Team Instinct. Because Spark is just Cobalt. They took him from me and put him in Pokemon Go.
Okay, hold on real quick. The fan interpretation of Spark is Cobalt. The canon interpretation, I don't think so.
I don't know. I've never seen any of his actual dialogue because I am on Team Mystic.
I think Rose would be Team Instinct, or Team Valor. Team Mystic's for nerds, so she wouldn't be on that.
That's where Victor would be.
Yeah, well, he's a nerd, so I thought you said like what, like when because I saw that and I was trying to figure out like you can make teams in Pokemon Go. You don't just collect them and hoard them in this terrible, terrible game. Rose would be none of them because the game is so bad she would have no patience for it, like me.
We need to come up with teams for People Go.
Animals Go, Alan.
Animals Go.
Listen to the show. Who are you, Josh?
Look, we have already established that I am the Sailor Venus of this group and that I get lots of things wrong all the time.
Yep. That's fair. That's why we love you.
A little bit farther up, Scoot did ask.
I'm Ray, probably, if I had to guess.
Oh,
Sailor Mars.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a jerk.
Yeah.
I
would like to be. Okay, so Amy, Sailor Mercury is who I am. Sailor Neptune is who I want to be.
Okay, we're dipping into some crossover too.
Okay, we're gonna go back.
My Sailor Moon people in chat know what I'm talking about.
Okay, Scoot asked a Pokemon question earlier. Which Pokemon would we like to see type shifted and into which type?
Yeah, what Pokemon would you like to see type shifted?
I would like if there was like a Charmander, but it was like a ghost, maybe.
That would be neat.
Oh my god, okay.
That would be my favorite one. I don't know.
A lot of possibilities here, and I don't want to give anything away because we've brainstormed a lot already.
We've brainstormed a lot. Here's a little teaser. Maybe you've already seen one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe you've already seen a couple.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you haven't seen any.
Also, guys, I wore my bird shirt for you.
You did. I'm wearing biscuit.
I'm wearing my Pokemon shirt, but not on purpose, just because I like to wear the shirt.
I think 6 out of 7 you are wearing a Pokemon shirt.
Yes.
And the other one is a Steve Reno shirt.
Yep.
By the way, update on the shirt. There are shorts that go with it that are the same pattern that I will be buying this weekend because tax-free weekend on clothes.
Don't wear them together. That'll
be
so
I
bad.
super duper will.
That'll be so
yeah, he will. So
I'm a nightmare.
Yes. Riley, who's going to be the first Pokemon you send to the BC? Are you guys going to do it at all?
No. We decided early on that we're just going to keep them on us and we'll only use 6 at a time in a battle if it gets that far.
If it gets there, we'll only use 6. We just my bag holds infinity things. Why can't I put some Pokemon in there?
Yeah. We also decided our bags were all infinite space.
Well, that's how the game is. You can just keep holding stuff forever. So we took some weird game mechanics.
That's not how it started. You could only hold 20 before.
For real?
In Red and Blue, you can only have 20 items in your bag, and you can store.
You could have infinity of those items.
You could have up to like 99
yeah.
each item, but you could only have 20 different items in your bag, and your PC overflow storage was also limited, I think, to 100.
That's weird. Gen 1 is weird.
So we actually got some more questions on Twitter if we want to try those.
Yeah, I do. I really want to go back to one of Porsche's real quick. Alan, this is for you. What is the biggest OMG, I didn't expect them to do that? What do I do to steer them back moment?
That's what we talked about while y'all were gone.
Oh, we'll talk about it again now that we're back.
No.
I want to know.
You'll have to go back and watch the VOD.
No, watch the time VOD, for that. Alan, do you want the episodes edited? Because I can't do 2 things.
Speaking of the episodes edited, favorite moment you had to cut from the episode for time?
I had to cut so many jokes from Annie and Jonathan that I considered briefly making an Annie and Jonathan joke reel of just things they said.
They just
Annie
they are on fire all the time. Jonathan, it's crazy.
Jonathan has said that people have described his type of humor as relentless, and that is 100% accurate.
He is very correct.
Wonderful.
And Annie said the funniest thing that had ever happened on the show, and I had to cut it because it was like a little too quiet and it was like while other things were happening, so I had to cut it. But it was she just said we're on a lot of blogs, and then that was it, and it was it killed me. I could make it happen, but it would be a nightmare to go find all that stuff.
Somebody says that sounds like amazing Patreon content.
Yeah, if you give me $750 just by myself, like you just PayPal me $750, I will do it. Other than that, it would be a night because I don't know. I'd have to listen to the episode and figure out what's not in there and then backtrack from there. So, anyway, let's go back to some questions. Okay, Alan, when you personalize each Pokemon, what do you factor in? Nature, type, species, etc.? That's from Jojo Hansen.
Yes, to all of that. A lot of when I'm voicing Pokemon, especially towards the beginning, it's evolved as the series has gone on. I didn't even mean to do that one. But as each Pokemon kind of gets their own personality. Bango is a distracted boy, yes, but his jealousy just kind of naturally
that kind
evolved.
of became the thing. Yeah. We tried to work in the distracted stuff a lot, but jealous is kind of his main feature.
Cyndaquil is timid, so working in him being nervous about things and having trouble, being very clingy to Cobalt for that very reason. Usually when I'm voicing a Pokemon in the wild, I do base it mostly on their nature, and let the personality evolve from there if they get caught, and kind of go from there.
Cool. I very much like all the Pokemon we run into, so let's.
I feel like we put a lot of input in on that too, though. Because
when we catch them, we tend to.
Because when I got Falsetto, I think I was like, I want him to be a little tiny
kind
jerk.
of a dink. Yeah. Scramble is my favorite because she is Rose. If Rose had infinite power and was an egg, so
did not start out that way.
Well, no, she's
I think she's
very organized, and that's kind of the base of her.
That is my favorite accidental thing we did.
There is
Scramble is freaking OCD.
There is Scramble before that Sand Shrew and Mount Moon, and then there is Scramble after that Sand Shrew and Mount Moon, and they're different.
Look,
that happened because of a bad roll.
Yeah.
Because she went out to convince it to like, hey, let my friends go by, and ended up just scolding it and yelling at it.
And then summoning the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a precious angel. I don't know why everyone's so worried about her. Will Cobalt ever use his ghost sword?
Yeah. Yep.
Good answer. Mount Moon was transformed. Mount Moon is let's act one's over. We can reveal a little bit more of the sausage. You've already seen us at our worst, so why not? Mount Moon, we had to redo 2 episodes. Or do we only have to redo 1?
Did we make
it was 2 episodes that we condensed into 1.
And then we added another one to make up.
And then we added another one to make up for it.
Because something happened with Alan's mic where his it got, when you exported it, it got compressed, and then you deleted the file, so you couldn't re-export it. But it basically was like really choppy and bad. And so I was like, we got to redo it. And so I sent Alan, I just synced him up and then sent him to him, and he just did a full transcript of 2 episodes. And we turned both
I was supposed to take notes.
I said take some notes, and what we got back was 2 novels.
Okay, look, it was 7 and 9 pages respectively. That is not a novel.
It was a lot. That's a
I'm
children's
thorough.
novel.
It's a novella.
It was a novella. And so we turned those into 1, and then the next episode 17, was us exploring inside of Mount Moon, and 18 is when we came back out, I think, and then that's when everything went back to normal. But the reason I didn't catch the Onyx is because I hadn't caught the Onyx, because we never saw the Onyx. So like,
right.
Now I just regret the what could have been.
And that was kind of to go back to, is there anything you could redo? Jake asked me, he was like, was there parts of Mount Moon that you didn't get to do? And the answer was yes. So essentially what we did
was a long time to do anything. So I was like, what did we miss?
So we compressed the 2 episodes that we had recorded into 1, and then kind of expounded on Mount Moon with some of my unused notes, and we're able to kind of go in and, that's where the Rock Diglet and the Crystal Cave and all of that came from unused notes that I had
and the melodic
moving forward. And the melodic.
Stuff, and the Phoebus.
I really like the melodic.
Riley asked in the chat here, how has y'all's use of a metronome changed since the original use?
Terrible word. It hasn't. It's still randomly generated. I know we get a lot of like OP moves, but like hand of God, that is how
Johnny does ask here a little later on, how are the attacks decided? It seems like a table, but recently sounds more like improv.
Should we like really open the sausage and talk about how we do that?
Well, now that you've mentioned that there's sausage to open,
well, there is a lovely website that has a metronome randomizer on it. And that's what we use to decide what she does for metronome. So and a lot of metronome is actually quite a lot of work, because it's what move does she use? What does that move do in the system? How do I actually, like, if it deals damage, I have to roll damage for it. I have to do like all that stuff. So using metronome, a lot of it gets cut, which is probably why it sounds much cleaner, is because we kind of do a dirty version and then we go back and retake it so it's clean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the random move, whoever made that random move generator, thank you very much.
I love you.
Seems a little skewed.
Yeah, a little bit, but it works out for me. And for my precious angel.
Portia asked what's going on with Cobalt's Oddish. What's going on with it is that he keeps forgetting about it. This is why I didn't want to catch more Pokemon.
He keeps forgetting. Cobalt forgets.
Cobalt forgets. Setting up some mom story for later. Intentionally, don't look into it.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Chartreuse is a-coming.
Hey, we can stop talking about y'all in the chat. You guys can take that to Twitter on your own time.
the truth about the Oddish is I want to start working in it and using it more. And I'm trying to kind of rotate through the backlog of Pokemon I have just floating around in my backpack. And I want to get more back to the randomly grabbing a ball and throwing it, and just whatever comes out is what I'm battling with. I'm trying to get a little more back into that.
For Act 2, I have my 3 walking buddies. I got Scramble, Sakura, and Bango out, and then I have a 4th that I rotate, and then every in-game day I pick a new one. And sometimes it's based on input, and then sometimes it's not. It's just like, oh, I didn't ask, so I need to get one. Also, Travis, we will not be discussing yins. You can also go back to my episode of WTF Anime if you want to discuss that too. If you want to hear about that. Let's see. What actors would play the main 3? I know who I want to play Cobalt and Rose. I got no idea for Victor.
No idea for Victor.
Here's the thing. I don't know young actors. Like, I just want James Vanderbeek to play everybody all the time.
We talk about this all the time. We don't know who anyone is. I know who 5 actors are who are like current. And so I usually go back to them. Not Cole Sprouse, Dylan Sprouse would be a good Cobalt.
Probably.
The other Zach and Cody. I don't know if it was Zach or Cody. And then Rose would be Abby Cobb because her mom would be, and all the other Jennies would be either played by Abby Cobb or Jenny Garth because they are identical. For real. Like Abby Cobb played Jenny Garth in a 90210 behind the scenes Lifetime movie because they look the same. So that's who I would do.
We actually have another question from Twitter. If our golden trio had to meet up with any of the other trios in Pokemon series history, which ones would get along the best? And that's from Portia.
I can only answer for one, and I know we would. Here's what would happen. Okay. Victor and Ash would be friends. I think they would be fine, and they would have a lot to talk about with each other just because of the way both of them feel about Pokemon. Brock and Cobalt would get along fine. I'm not worried about them. Misty and Rose would kill each other for real in real life.
You'd think we'd get along. But we would, there would be mergers. For sure.
I don't know much about Tracy. And after that, I know they pal around with
other people.
Whatever.
Who's the dragon girl?
Who's the dragon girl?
The girl that has the dragon that lives in her hair.
Iris.
I'm pretty sure
Iris.
it's Dragona.
I don't know anything about their characters in the show.
Quick, Dow, Alan can't play Victor because he would have to shave, and I don't think Alan will ever do that.
He would have to shave and probably lose 4 feet.
Yeah. Like, it wouldn't even be I have to lose weight. I'd have to like cut
shrink
off
down. We'd have to like grab you in the resizing tool.
Yep.
And shrink you down.
So we got a question. Will we get another Meta Boys episode on April 1st?
No, we're not going to tell you what we'll do for April Fool's ever, because that would ruin the surprise, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't be a funny joke if you knew it was coming.
You wouldn't get fooled if you know it's coming.
Should we talk about Meta Boys, though?
Yeah, let's talk about Meta Boys for a little bit. I don't think
that was a heck of a lot of fun. I'm trying to stop myself from swearing because this is
I've only sworn twice because YouTube made me angry.
A lot went into that because that was when Alan, you were here.
Yeah, I was in Austin,
and we went out to lunch and like did like a treatment for the whole thing.
Yeah, well, because Corbin, public frenemy number 1, Corbin made the system.
Corbin, my man.
Corbin, my man. He made the system because he said like, I had like, oh, is there going to be a Metabots game? And he named a couple other like, kids animes, and I messaged him and said, can you make a Metabots game for us? And then he did. And so we used that for the April Fool's one. And like we went to lunch at Thundercloud and we like figured out how it worked and figured out our characters. And then we made them real quick. And then we played the game.
So in true Jake and Josh fashion, it was a bigger prank on us, I think, than it was on you. Because there's a lot of prep that goes into those.
All of our pranks are more on us. We're not. Like the
especially when you get RPGs involved, it gets
the missing no prank that we did for regular World Tour 2 years ago.
That was a lot of fun to make. Every like voice text to voice thing that we did, we were just trying so hard not to audibly laugh while it was playing.
The raw audio is literally 30 minutes longer of just us cackling at like, yes, Josh, this Pokemon is this thing. Travis, you'd say we're pranking wrong, but really the best pranks are very in-depth with very little payoff. Yep. I feel personally. I would like to do more meta boys. I like Metabots a lot.
We do need to touch up the battle system because the battles were over in 3 seconds flat.
Yeah, we need to. I mean, to be fair, there was no test playing. He just kind of made it based on nothing. So like, we'll need to figure out if we're doing yokai boys. Well, it wouldn't be boys. Like that wouldn't be Metabots, meta boys fits. We'd have to make the name work. You know,
yokai guys.
We'll do yo guys.
The yo guys. That's dumb. Let's do it. I've never seen a yokai watch.
I have no idea what it's about. All I know is like Griffin's description of the battle system, and it sounds not fun in the video game to play. Chris
Sims. Oh, Riley, Yu-Gi-Oh is on the table. Don't worry. I just Josh all the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, literally everything about it.
The actual card game, and oh, don't worry, there will be lots of over dramatized. Oh, that means I get to do Pegasus, you guys.
I'm just gonna. Well, no, because we don't know if he's gonna be in there. If it's 20, if it's
But I really want to do that voice.
He's in the Shadow Realm. You can do Pegasus Jr.
I can do Pegasus Jr. There you go.
This is why this is going to take a lot of prep.
Also, how was your trip over to Austin? Was it like 8 hours, 10 hours? But it was actually brilliant. Like it was a ton of fun. It was incredible. So
I'm amazed you fit on my couch.
I did fit on his couch. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Also, if we do a Yu-Gi-Oh one, I'm gonna make everything up. I'm gonna make every single thing up. So
cool. Then I should be able to also.
Yeah, you'll be able to keep up because it will.
Card games on motorcycles. That was from Matt Headley.
How would a Beyblade battle system work? Well, we could just buy actual Beyblades and play them out and
describe
play around it.
So what they're going to do is they're actually going to stand about a foot away from their microphones and just scream.
Yeah.
And that's how Beyblade's going to work.
What was I don't remember what I saw. And then I was like, oh, that would be a fun one. And I just cannot remember.
Joe posted a line and it makes me want to do the Pegasus voice, but I don't want to give it away.
No, stop. Stop it.
I already gave away enough secrets, Alan. We don't need to give away any more.
I love that voice. It's so fun.
Oh, thank you, Riley, for telling people about us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. We're all right. Any more questions? I'm gonna look back. I know Portia had like a bunch so we can dive into. Okay, here we go. Thought process behind Victor and Sierra's character creation. We can't speak to Sierra because that's a Shannon Maynard Ridge. Victor was a one-off goof, and then I said, "Hey, bring him back." and
really, to be fair, I think it was more bring back the Lillipup.
I also was very into Victor's super southern for some reason.
We weren't completely in love with Lillipup as a Pokemon quite when he was first
was
first introduced.
It was the Jammies. The Jammies did it.
Yeah, it was.
And then we just kept looking at pictures of it, and then that'll do it.
Yeah.
But Victor started as a goof. Then I actually sat down and said, okay, who is this kid around the Viridian Forest kind of time? Like right when we realized we were reintroducing him. And I literally wrote 3 pages of backstory for Victor. Just kind of who are his parents, where is he from, why
he's a deeply tragic character.
Why? Okay, look, I have a problem in that I write lots of deep tragic characters.
Yeah.
Victor is something.
Victor's here to stay. Don't worry about it.
Victor is here to stay. The thing about Victor is I want him to be able to represent a type of character I don't see a lot of in stories. And that is a character that has a lot of damage in his past, but doesn't let it define who he is, but can grow from that. And his story is important to who he is, but it's not the definition of who he is. I
do want to say, I love Victor very much. Sometimes he's a little bit of a bummer.
He's a little bit of a bummer.
And sometimes that makes it hard to edit an episode. So if we can, I know now we are at a place where we are in the healing and we are kind of moving from there. So I'm more into that side of it than the other.
Mm-hmm. You have to get there. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
And I think you've gotten there.
But I mean,
Matt asks, have you all considered doing spin-offs? Sort of. We did talk about doing just like little 1 or 2 off side stories occasionally, just like completely random self-contained things.
We still want to do that mystery dungeon.
Yeah, I really want to do that mystery dungeon. Mystery house.
Mystery house.
The Spookum house. Oh, the Crypt Keeper's haunted crypt keep. His kept crypt and his haunted house
Crypt
maze.
Keeper's maze of haunted spookies.
His crystal spooky haunted maze that the Crypt Keeper owns and operates.
The Crypt Keeper.
But to further answer your question, Matt,
green screen spooky room.
Crypt Keeper's assistant managerial house of spookums and waffles.
Assistant manager of Spooky Crypt Keeper and his maze of scaries.
So really,
what are you talking about?
Yes, we have thought about spinoffs. There is a particular spinoff that I am sitting on that I think would work well in Act 2. It is something that I have briefly brought to Jake and Josh's attention, but it's something that we need to discuss much more in depth. But I think it could possibly work. So just kind of stay tuned. The idea is there.
People are talking about Pokemon of Cthulhu, A Descent into Madness. We actually talked about, before we started Cool Kids Table, we talked about doing some like different genre versions, just like kind of one-offs. One would be like a dark and gritty noir, and then one was gonna be like a monster hunter sort of deal with Pokemon. If there's interest, maybe that'll be a thing later, but we gotta get through Mystery Dungeon first because it's very cute. Yeah. I want to do it.
So I noticed Victor, who started Southern and is now French. So Kalos we have determined that Kalos is the region of accents.
Kalos is where accents are, and that's
it is not just French. It can be French, it can be Southern, it can be vaguely British, it can be lots of different things happen over in Kalos. Real deal Q, exactly how deep does the Pokemon World Wrestling Federation rabbit hole go?
Jake? So deep. You guys have no idea.
I imagine there is spreadsheets and documents and just like whole historical write-ups.
It's all up here right now. I haven't gone that crazy. The Pokemon Wrestling Federation, actually it'd be CPML, the Council of Pokemon Lucha Libre, is Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me, Mr. 3 pages of backstory for Victor.
Delivery. It was the delivery. It wasn't even the thing. It's just the way you said it.
CMLL, the Council Mundo Lucha Libre. I don't remember. I don't know what the M stands for. Lucha Libre company down in Mexico. Anyway, the Council of Pokemon Lucha Libre. That's just what it is. There's a lot there that we will get to in Act 2. And then from there, I have like a lot of ideas that will not make it to the show that I would like to find a way to figure out how to.
Maybe that could be a spin-off.
Well, stay tuned. I've got ideas for that too. I see people give voices to their dogs. If those your Pokemon talked in a person voice, what would the voice sound like?
See Meta Boys, because I think Alan did that.
I don't see. I feel like we kind of beefed it with Beef. I feel like Beef, aka B4NG0, which is just what a good name.
That was a very good name.
Thank you, Jake. Yeah, that's me patting myself on the back. Anyway, I think we kind of missed on the voice, but only because we had a minute to figure it out.
That's true, because we really didn't think about it, and I think we were recording when we looked at each other and go, "Oh, these can talk."
Yeah, and Josh was like, "Do they talk?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then Alan went, "Oh, and then we had to figure out what they were. Also, Riley, you're given a lot of like parody names. Get rid of that idea. That's all out. I don't.
Baron Cubone's a good one.
Yeah, I do like Baron Cubone. I like Sailor Lunatone.
No crossovers, man.
She can be magical girl themed.
Maybe she will be, but she won't be Sailor Lunatone. Look, it's a whole thing. Okay, it's not
Sailor Lunala.
It's not just literally Bam Bam Bigelow for the other one and the Macho Command race. That's too easy, and I will not take the easy way out of this very complicated wrestling federation I have created.
I just did Bam Bam Bigelow for the pun.
Are there any ideas to other episode framing ideas like the Parks and Rec episode from Joe?
I don't think so.
I don't think we've really talked about it. Oh no, we do have one. I don't want to spoil it though. Yeah, it's for the end of Act 2.
Yeah, the end of Act 2.
So,
I know what you're talking about.
I'll type it on my phone and show it to you.
Okay, yeah, because I don't remember. That came about because Alan named the episode Pokes and Rec before we did it. And I said, oh, we have to do it, Parks and Rec. I've seen one episode of Parks and Rec, but I was like, I like the cutaways. I like that joke. So let's put it in there. And so now every time Scoot is on. Oh yeah. That's not necessarily I guess that would kind of count. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Act 2 interlude we have plans for. In between then, and I don't know if we have any separate framing devices, but maybe we will think of some.
Well, I mean, I'm always open to things like that. I mean, there are some weird ideas that bounce around in my head.
There's some bad ideas too. I don't want to blow up your spot, Alan, but there was an idea for the finale that was just very bad that we all kind of dogpiled on you in the group chat about.
So this has been Pokemon World Tour United. This is Alan signing off forever. I'm done. Okay, bye.
You're not done. You can't get out.
But no, there are some ideas that I have bounced around that I haven't said because they're dumb, and I know they're kind of dumb. But yeah,
dumb is fine. Bad isn't.
We'll see. You'll see.
Yeah, I would like to do a couple more because that one was real fun being able to cut back and forth between things. I wish we did it 3 or 4 more times total. But
yeah.
That's that's
I
all.
think treble would sound like Chucky Finster. If I can just jump back to that question for a second. I thought about it. That's where I landed.
I think treble's the most Chucky Finster.
Yeah, that is too perfect.
Yeah. Scramble would be
Susie. No, they can't all just be Rugrats.
No, they can't all just be Rugrats.
I mean, they can.
I mean, I feel
those voice actors do a lot of work.
I feel like Scramble would be a little bit I can't remember Clueless's name.
Cher
from Clueless. That would be a little bit that. And then I don't know what Scramble would be. Scramble would be Steve Bloom doing his regular voice, but a kid version.
Yes.
If you could scale that down to a kid version, it would be that.
Steve Blum is magic. He can do anything.
Yeah. Oh, he did Guillemot. And it's also Wolverine. That's bananas to me. Okay, Lewis just said Scramble is Helga. Helga Pataki is my favorite. So,
Joe, don't say no to musicals quite yet.
Yeah, the only reason we haven't done a musical is because I don't think Josh and I can sing in a way that is pleasing to anyone.
Not when other people are going to hear it. In the shower, I could belt it out. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm also really good when I'm by myself. It's weird. I don't know. I know Annie has a very good singing voice, so if we did one, I would contract Annie to do all of Rose's singing.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. That's all because I'm garbage. I'm just horrible. I pretend I'm okay. I went to goof on my family, but they know the truth. Trying to see if anything else. Musical eps are all about guests. We could probably get MPH, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, we've got that poll.
What's he even doing? I mean, he's doing the Netflix show, but that's it. He's doing Series of Unfortunate Events, but that's 8 episodes. He's got plenty of time.
Yeah. I'm scrolling back up through to see if we've got any more questions.
I'm trying to think of actors and actresses from New Hampshire that I could that are real actors and actresses that I could get that are from New Hampshire. Because there's a weird thing about people from New Hampshire and that when we're not in the state, we're best friends. So I don't know. I don't think Carrie Pratt can sing. That's all I can think of right now. So
I can't help you.
Well,
We've established this.
Also, you're from Massachusetts.
That's true. We don't have that bond.
Yeah. Let's see.
More questions? Anybody?
Joe, you want do you want to be in the musical episode or do you just want it?
Simi Sage as an actor in Grease would rule. It's got that pompadour.
Pompadour. Let's go back to Twitter. There's got to be some there. Hold on. You hate each other? No, we're just normal in state. But New Hampshire's like this really weird thing that no one realizes exists.
I think we've answered all the ones I see on Twitter.
If
PWTU was a TV show, what would be the format you prefer? Live action, anime, American cartoon, flash animation?
I would like American cartoon. Just because I feel like anime would be a little too on the nose,
Yeah, it definitely needs to be animated because we do too many gags.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the vein of it being a cartoon, that is a live action. I mean, it could be done now, but I don't know if it would come across the way that I would want it to.
Ooh, hey, someone's getting fucking banned.
Yeah, I reported their message.
Okay, block them. Boom.
Sweet.
All right, bye. So, oops, sorry, I swore. I don't care. I can fuck off. Yeah, ask more questions. Give us some more questions. Someone asked about team changes for Kalos. Guys, I'm in love with you. Going to other regions is a nightmare for me to think about as someone who gets very attached to his Pokemon. So,
It's been interesting to have conversation because spoiler alert, guys, we have been recording Act 2. We're already talking about Season 2.
Yeah, we're talking about Season 2. We have a very, very crazy dumb idea for Season 3.
Yep.
But yeah,
the idea of putting a wrap on Bango and Treble and Scramble, it's an odd idea.
Yeah, so
it will happen. Like that's the plan. But yeah,
we'll see where everything goes. Let's see if we have anything.
Jake
else.
would just want Gravity Falls. So PWTU as Gravity Falls, according to that.
I mean, in that style, very much so. That is like the prettiest show
I do love
that I have seen in forever. The backgrounds are like really pretty, and the animation's very nice. If it was an anime, I would want it to be like the one episode of Digimon. You guys know the one.
I don't know the one.
Anyone who knows Digimon knows the one episode of Digimon that's animated better and different, where Tai goes back, or the first part of the movie. It actually looks a lot like K-On! I watched the first episode of K-On! Because Alan's like, you might like it, and I was like, I got nothing else to do right now. And
it's good.
It was very cute and sweet, and I might watch more of it.
K-On! Is probably the most beautifully animated show I've seen in some time. I love that show.
Yeah, Admiral Potato gets it. The one. You guys know the one. The one episode of Digimon.
Is that the name of it? The one?
I don't know what the name of it is. I couldn't gun to my head. I could not tell you, but it's Tai goes back somehow to the real world. But it's like the day before he left, and
all the real world stuff is live action.
No,
it's just animated much differently. It's much sharper, and like there's a contrast between.
Yeah, it's like a
digital world.
Yeah, it looks a lot different. It looks like they had some money to do it. So it was a whole different studio from what I understand. Portia never got attached to Digimon.
I know the feeling.
Josh gets that. I like it more than Pokemon. Here I am. Easier questions in regard to actors, voice actors for the characters.
Johnny Yong Bosch.
For Cobalt?
He can do it.
I don't think he could do it.
No, maybe not for Cobalt. He would work for Cyan. I think he could do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he does a good he does Brock in Origins. He does a pretty good gruff chill.
Yeah.
And I think if you just took the chill out of it, it would work very well.
For Rose, I mean, it's like I would want Janet Varney, just because I think she's a really her voice is very good. She doesn't do different voices. She's not like Tara Strong or anything. But
also, this might be an easier question for anyone else. This isn't just as difficult for me.
Yeah.
I would want Alan to keep doing the Pokemon voices. Because I feel like if you take that away, nothing sounds right.
I mean, Rose could be Tara Strong because Tara Strong could do one of it, but I feel like it would be like really obvious, you know? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you know who could do Cobalt? Alan Tudyk.
Well,
He went to Juilliard.
yeah, he went to Juilliard. He did a chicken.
I'm trying to think of who could do Victor.
Who are some children right now, guys? Anyone know
Well,
who
not even
kids
that.
are?
I almost kind of want it to be a woman that does Victor, because to have kind of that higher register.
Tara Strong.
No.
Admiral
What is
Potato,
her name?
I hate Michael Cera's voice, and I do not
Laura
want him to be
Bailey?
my character.
Laura Bailey. I don't know if she does like boy voices. I haven't heard.
Oh, Laura Bailey would be a good Jenny Force.
Yeah,
Like she would be good for the Jennies.
Okay, here's the thing. Whoever does Rose also has to do all the Jennies. Like
But
that's just
like
yeah,
it's just different.
The kid who does Steven
Steven
Universe.
Universe,
Yeah,
yeah.
Zach.
He would be a great
C.
Victor.
Scoot said Alex Hirsch for Professor Sky or Raleigh. I think he would be pretty good there.
Yeah, Zach Collison.
Yeah, that's it. That's the boy. I don't know. I don't want to like voice cast everybody. I can't do Rose because, but I would like to do Rose, but I can't. Yeah, the only good Michael
Scott
Cera
Pilgrim
movie
is very good, but
Scott Pilgrim.
I don't want to see his voice coming out of Cobalt.
No, that's fair. Who could do Bonnie? Who could do Bonnie? Oh, is
James Earl
Grace Jones?
Ooh.
Grace Jones. It's a perfect Bonnie. She's the best.
Or Estelle.
I feel like she's got too much of like a lyrical like.
But I like that though. I like the
I just don't think that's Bonnie. I mean, her voice is like your gruffest voice that you do. I don't think
it is.
I don't think pretty ass singer Estelle would work super well coming out of there. Don't encourage him, Riley.
Any other? The more questions? Come on, guys.
Yeah, send some more questions. Maybe more like Amethyst.
Jasper.
Which
now you got me on a Steven Universe.
Yes, Jasper would be. Well, that's like I watched like 2 shows, and like Steven Universe is one of them. That would be pretty good. I'm still saying Grace Jones.
Grace Jones would be a really good choice
because Grace Jones also could play her in real life, because she's like 6'20" and can throw men just wherever she wants. She's the best. No others in the thing. Let's see. Any questions we have for each other?
Ooh.
I already have running shoes. I started with running shoes.
As far as the bike or roller skates, I don't know because I don't know how that would translate mechanically into like because we walk everywhere. If we're biking anywhere, I feel like we would just be blowing.
We
past
miss
stuff.
a lot. Yeah. Will we see any of the other Pokemon gangs like Aqua or Plasma? I don't think so. I mean, that's really an Alan question, but we're pretty deep in the Rockets right now.
For Act 1, probably not. Or for Season 1, probably not. Season 2, there is going to be something brand new, and that's all I'm going to say.
The only other person who knows anything about them, we know their name, but we won't reveal it. The only person who knows anything about them is Shannon because she did some character designs that she won't show us.
Great.
Yep.
So we have to wait 9 years.
900 years.
It's only gonna be 2 more years, depending.
But they've already been done for like 8 months.
Let's see. Are we going to see any other canon characters in the show? I don't know how far you are. Spoilers for the interlude, but yes. And then after that, I don't know.
Yes.
Probably.
I can't imagine we won't. I tend to shy away from it because it kind of attaches us to it in a weird way that makes me slightly uncomfortable, but not in a way that like I outright ban. So I just want to be judicious with it. Just like, not a ton at a time. Where do Rose and Cobalt want to go in their lives? Like in the future? What's Cobalt want to do?
You think he's thinking that far?
What's Cobalt want to do?
Cobalt lives in the now. What he wants to do is what he's doing.
That's
which is
fair.
have a Pokemon journey. He's 17.
He's a man grown.
Yeah, and so he's just exploring the world, living his dreams.
Doing him.
After that, he doesn't have any plans because I don't have any plans.
Rose has some ideas. She just desperately doesn't want to be a cop right now, so that's kind of what she's doing. As for I know what I want her to be doing in the future, and that
we've had discussions about it.
We've had discussions, and it will tie in Act 2. That'll come up in Act 2 a little bit. So I don't want to spoil anything. So
I'm seeing a lot of when will Rose and Cobalt realize their love for each other? Is Robot a pipe dream?
Let's see.
Will we get romance, kissing, smooching, macking?
Let's see. I mean, look, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. Alan totally blew by some choice robot opportunities in the interlude.
Did I blow by them, or did I allow them to be experienced by other people?
What?
Did I allow other people to like notice them and not have me call attention to it?
What? No, there was like straight up things I gave you could have done that you just didn't. So.
I didn't know. I noticed them, but I didn't do it.
Let's see. We do 30 episodes per act and then an interlude. So I'm going to say like around episode 100. Maybe.
See what he did there, guys? See what he did there. Do you find yourself gravitating towards any type of starter?
Normal types. Or starter types or just starters?
Any type for starters.
Oh, no, I love normals. I love normals a lot. And I also like fairies because they can get real weird and they fight dragons, and I think that's cool.
I like the traditional triangle of fire, water, and grass. But I also like the freedom that this game gives us to do whatever we want. I picked a starter this time, like an actual one.
Yeah.
But that is just a coincidence that it happened
That's
to be
just
my
your
favorite.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would gravitate toward any type. It would just be whatever Pokemon was feeling at that time for what we were starting. And that could be literally anything. So
yeah.
Scoot asks, how soon will we see the return of contests? Contests, I don't know how soon we will go back to them, but I will say that you will see them again in the story for sure. But whether or not Rose and Cobalt participate is still in the cards.
Yeah, they take a lot longer than you think.
They do. Yeah.
Take a lot longer than you think. And apparently I forget who, someone did the math and you actually won, but that's not how it happened in canon. So so that's classic Rose right there. I'm going to scroll back up a little bit. How long have the characters canonically known each other? Because I feel like they've only been on the journey for a week, even though it's been a year. They met on the show in the first episode.
That first episode was the first time they'd ever met. So in canon, Alan, how long have we been on the adventure in world?
I think it's like a week and
1
a
week.
half.
Yeah, so I think 1 week and maybe a week and a half.
Yeah, it's not been very long.
I mean, experiences hold a lot of weight as far as forming relationships go.
Well, that and the interlude is a bit of a time jump, but it's not a huge time jump. And then, of course, the beginning of Act 2 is directly after the end of the interlude. There is no time jump. It will begin right at the start.
Be a jerk move to leave it on cliffhanger. I'm gonna go back to some robot stuff because there was like 45 pages of it.
There's a lot of robot going on with that.
Real quick, Portia, don't give up on it. But it like if we were to act it out, I feel like Josh's skeleton would crawl out of his mouth and run away from here.
That might be very true.
So so that would be hilarious to me. Which is
yeah, to be sitting next to
your pile of skin. That'd be great.
Empty skin sack.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
So funny.
Let's see if there's any more up here. Other gangs. To the future.
Will
starters.
Brian ever learn and exploit Cobalt's fear of Mr. Mime? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Wait, it was Brian, right? Yes, it is Brian. Brian is a jerk.
Brian.
You have not seen the last of Brian. That is all I'm going to say.
Unfortunately, should have pushed him off the boat. He wasn't on the boat, but he should have been on the boat so I could push him off of it.
Well, that'd be rude.
Oh, well, it
would. Joe says, but Brian is so hot. He does have a great butt. In canon, he has a very nice butt.
In canon, he has a very nice butt.
I don't know. See what happens. We need more questions or else we got to wrap it up because I don't know how much longer we can.
I saw one up from Joe. Rose and Cobalt become gym leaders. What is your theme type?
I don't think Rose would be a good gym leader. I think she would be very bad.
I don't know that Cobalt would have a type. It'd probably be more akin to Blue's Gym of just like, these are the Pokemon I use.
If you had to have
beat
like
me, you get a badge.
if you had to have like a theme though.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because right now, like the thing I like about our gyms is that
the theme would be a concert hall.
Oh, because they're all
music themed. Yeah. How that would work, I don't know. You didn't give me enough time to plan that out. But
that's super clever.
Rose would just be a long hallway, and at the end it would be scramble, and that's it. And then you just lose. You have to go home. Let's see.
Rose's gym is just a jail.
Not
really a police gym.
Not really a police gym, but a police gym. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm trying to work in that like Rose is actually very good at all the police stuff. She just hates it. So she doesn't want that. Well, is not if she can help it. She will never become a real officer if she can help it.
Why is Rose not comfortable with her birth name?
I was gonna reveal it naturally in there, but I mean, let's see. There's only 10 people on right now, so
video's up forever.
No, the amount of people that listen versus the amount of people that are gonna come watch this is gonna be so infinitesimal. It's only the cool people here right now.
Right.
So I guess you guys are all cool. It's because every single Jenny goes by their first name, and they all are a Jenny, and they're all A names.
There's some O Jennies.
There's one O Jenny for the joke that she is the O Jenny, the original Jenny.
Right.
So
she is the eldest of the Jennies.
Yeah. So she doesn't.
Jenny Zero.
It's sort of a teenage like to be different, but also because like literally her entire family goes by their first names. So
plus it's like a nice pretty name, and teens hate that.
Yeah. Also because Rose is a color, and we needed this.
Yeah.
And I didn't think of her name until halfway through Act 1. And I actually thought of a different name, and then I changed it to what it is.
So Dowd asks, have we seen the Lego Pokemon themes in stores? I actually have one of the little Abras.
Abra's the other one I couldn't remember earlier.
Okay.
I have seen them because I just reset toys at Target and stocked all of them the other day.
I got my nieces, I got my oldest niece a Pikachu and my middle niece an Eevee, and helped them put them together. And then I got an Abra for me.
Nice. Portia, yeah, it's because of the French song. I love that song. I just like it's like the kid song that gets stuck in my head all the time.
Should we tell them about the joke that I accidentally made that fit really, really well?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you tell them because I don't remember all the context.
So at one point we were doing something and we were talking about Scramble, and I said, "Oh yeah, Scramble is happy as a lark." And Alouette,
I was laughing, and Alouette means lark in French, and it was just like this accidental perfect synergy.
What are Rose and Cobalt's secret talents?
Well, Cobalt knows a lot about poison, right?
Yeah, he's like a poison genius.
From a one roll that went very well.
Yep.
Rose is secretly very good at dancing, but she gets embarrassed about it. It's like one of the few things that she gets embarrassed about, which is why she didn't really do it on the SSA. Also, she was it was just a distraction so she could get turned. And that didn't work out. Another montage we were going to have was just her trying to get drinks and Sierra constantly blocking them. Let's see. I don't know if she has any other hidden talents. Stay tuned. They're hidden even to me.
Yeah. Boss LCA asks, in the games, you can cancel a Pokemon evolution by hitting buttons. What would you have to do to stop an evolution in PWTU other than wear an Everstone? And which Pokemon would Rose, Cobalt, or Vic stop?
Well, we're dipping into spoiler territory.
We are dipping into spoiler territory a little bit.
Let's just walk past it.
Okay. Rose would never let Scramble evolve because the jet plane is an abomination.
I don't know. Well, at first it gets into a long neck egg.
Yeah, and that's just weird. That one's fine because it looks like a Togepi still. Like the other one's like, now I'm a jet. Also, Riley, she's not an alcoholic. She's a crappy teen.
I will confirm this once and for all. Lillipup will be Lillipup. Biscuit is not evolving.
I think,
and that's mostly because Victor refuses to battle and or train Biscuit in that way. He loves Biscuit for Biscuit.
I think the way we got around it as the game mechanic of stopping evolution is just in our tabletop game. It's just they don't. Evolution is story based, not level based, and so if you don't want it to evolve, tell Alan that, and it just won't unless you ask.
Yeah. Also,
as far as what Pokemon Cobalt would stop from evolving, baritone.
Yeah,
for sure, it would just be like, no, you can't.
No, please.
Matt asks, how much does Alan keep track of what's going on in the wider PWT world? He asks, pretty certain of the answer.
Less than you think. I'm going to say less than you think.
I'm going to say more than you think.
Yeah, that's still less than everyone else. Everyone thinks that you have a spreadsheet of every single thing, and I've seen the drive. I know that it's you got less written down than everyone might think.
I also have notebooks.
Well, I'm just saying I don't think you are a computer.
I think a lot of world building, Alan does a lot on his own. I'm not contesting that at all, but a lot of it is just like, I don't know, Alan, what does this mean? And then we just like wait for him to think of something as we stare him down.
Yeah.
And I like that though. The thing that I really like about PWTU is, and that's kind of honestly why I stopped writing as much in the folders and started writing more in notebooks, is because my expectations and my thoughts on what's happening in the world is not always going to line up with what will work best. And so I like the fact that the world that we build is very collaborative, that, you know, you guys have input on what's happening in the wider world. Do I know what all the gym leaders are doing? Pretty much. Do I know what the big political turns are going on in Kanto? Yes, I do. You know, do I know that kind of stuff? Yes, but there's a lot of layers to it that I feel like the way we do it and the way we build it is important, that everyone has a say in it.
Here's one that I want to answer vaguely. I don't want to get too specific, but Scoot asked, do you guys have plans to fully evolve any Pokemon that you have with you?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then from Riley, will you let Scramble evolve? No. Because I genuinely hate her evolution.
Well, but then he asked another question. Would Scramble want to evolve? And I think that's going to be a listen and find out kind of question, because it's an evolution of the character, not just her body shape, but who she is.
Also, to pull back the curtain, there are mechanics in the game that allow you to make your Pokemon better without them evolving. So
that is true. That is very true.
For that. What are their favorite songs? What are Rose, Cobalt, and Victor's favorite songs?
Victor's would be the equivalent of Walking on Sunshine.
What a lame kid.
Yep, he just likes happy, upbeat music.
I can't remember the artist to save my life. It's on Cobalt's mixtape. It's the You're the Best.
Oh,
yeah. No one's ever gonna bring me down.
Foreigner.
No, it's not Foreigner.
Are you sure it's not Foreigner?
I'm positive that's not Foreigner. I'll Google it. No, it's like a guy.
A guy.
It's a person, not a group.
Joe.
That might be correct so far.
Joe Bermuda. Everyone's favorite Joe Bermuda.
I'm looking it up.
He's Googling it. I'm going to say Roses is whatever the Pokemon equivalent of Kesha is.
Surprising absolutely no one.
Of course, it's a hard one to say. It's Joe Esposito.
Oh, Esposito. I kind of knew that. I have it on a mix, and I'm just trying to picture the mix. And like, here's the name in iTunes. And here's the name. I got as far as Joe, and that's where it ended. That or Carly Rae. She's real into pop.
Does your computer program take out a lot of game math, or does that just get cut out?
50-50.
Yes, 50-50.
It will do all the rolling for us, so we don't have to roll 6 dice and add it up and subtract. We have to add and subtract the stats to it afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's a lot less intensive than if we were rolling everything by
hand,
for sure.
Like everything, because all the moves have like a base damage that you add to the roll that like where you start from, and it all figures that out for you. But then let's say you do a metronome and it picks a random move that we don't have a button for. Alan has to do all that math. Mm-hmm. And then just some other like here and there's some stuff that we still have to do. But for the most part, whoever put Tabletop United into Roll20, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that.
Riley asked, how much autonomy do the people who make gym leaders have after for the show? You said you know what the gym leaders are doing. I know what they're doing in kind of the political sense, as in who is where and what the gym leaders as a whole, like what their goal is, because to me, the gym leaders are connected. The previous guests of the show who are gym leaders have actually had pretty extensive conversations with me about what are their leaders doing, why are they doing what they do. But as far as creating the character, we pretty much give free reign as long as someone either A, hasn't already called the idea, B, it fits within the framework of what we're trying to do. Go nuts. We encourage theme, but go nuts.
Here's two things I don't like. I don't want your OPOC. Sorry, like I get that you're attached to them, but like this at the end of the day, the story has to be good. And if you just have like, here's the best one with all this stuff, like it's not going to super work. But other than that, I don't think we've had anything. Maybe we did give a little bit too much autonomy to Sky because he was our first gym leader, and maybe Alan let him make them all evolved Pokemon and kicked my entire ass. But then we got to have back on and it was fun. So
we were all young.
We were little babies,
and foolish, and we didn't know any better, and we have learned.
Yes. So Scoot's new wrestling indie name is Joe Bermuda. That's a good name.
If PWT action figures had accessories, what would they come with? Biscuit would come with at least 5 outfits. At least.
Cobalt would come with a Pokedex, but his hand would be posed in a way that his finger is over the lens.
If it's an articulated one, then I don't know. But if it was like a statuette, like it would definitely be Rose in selfie position. Like,
yeah,
like for sure, 100%. If not, she would have like, I don't know, scramble in her bag and like a
Sakura like magnetized to her chest.
Yeah, like stuck to her. Yeah,
like an actual fabric jacket you can tie and untie from Cobalt's waist.
Matt says it Sky's balanced out with how fast we wrecked his team. Honestly, I guess you just had it coming. So Joe, your idea works. Yours is not like OP in the sense that it won't be fun. It's very goofy and I like it. And there's a lot of pathos to it. So looking forward to that one. Also, Scoot said that like his audio was 2 hours and a lot of math was cut out. Math was cut out, but a lot of it is anytime there's a second of blank space, I cut that out. Because I don't have that drives me crazy. So I cut out like literal half seconds of silence just to keep the thing going. And I do a lot of controlling of the pace that way. So the episodes end up a lot shorter, even though there's not a lot of content necessarily cut out. So that also the first like 5 minutes of every single episode is just us goofing around. So
yeah,
there's that.
So how many people do we have on the waiting list? We got a list.
We have a list.
I don't know the number.
Several. Several. Dow said, is there a limit based on how powerful gym Pokemon can be based on how powerful the characters are? It's based on how many badges they have. We kind of like equal them out to where we are, as evidenced by the fact that we do still lose sometimes.
Mechanically, what I do and kind of why we introduce the equal to badge is so that I can mechanically say, okay, so the average of Jake and Josh's Pokemon is this. So that is going to be the general target area for where I'm going to create the gym leader's Pokemon. And I do all of that. So if any of you future gym leaders are listening, you'll just, the way it works is you kind of send me the list. I actually generate the Pokemon. I do all the math and kind of do that for you.
Part of it is with like a script.
Tedious.
Yeah, part of it is with like a script that we have, like that someone made that you just plug it all in a Excel, essentially an Excel spreadsheet, and then you hit like generate and it turns it into the thing in the game. But Alan still has to go put in all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. From Joe, what has been the hardest episode to edit? Episode 30 was super duper hard. Just because it was like very emotionally draining. And so I had to relive that while I was editing it. And there was just like a lot going on. So it took a long time. Other than that, I think probably Annie and Jonathan, just because it was so long. Mm-hmm. Also, Matt said he's not really angry about Pepper, but my boy did murder your boy. So,
so how has the recording
That's true.
or editing process changed? I've gotten better equipment.
Alan's gotten better equipment. We're still trying to get him to like stay in the same place. That's the thing that we work on.
I'm working on it.
Because a lot of times he'll start here and he'll end up here. And he does this thing, Alan, I don't want to blow up your spot. He does this thing where he's being serious. He gets quiet for a second. And if he's back here, that audio drops away. So, yeah, other than that, the editing is, it's quicker because I've gotten used to it. But not a lot's changed, I don't think.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't.
Not really.
I just show up to record.
We
so
record on my computer now instead of yours because yours stopped being able to do two things at once.
Yeah. Mine's not doing good. We were also on my laptop when this started lagging and crashing and freaking out. So my laptop is just not good for video anymore.
Yeah. Also my Wi-Fi is garbage, but my computer is plugged right in after them being like just some very bad recordings where we're like, I'm assuming you were talking for those 5 minutes, but I didn't hear any. From Dowd, would you guys ever be open to doing like a community corkboard? So like when one of our friends makes a new podcast, you guys will plug it for us. Yeah, I actually have been thinking about something like that. I'm not sure how it would implement. I like Max Fun and how at the end there's like a commercial for another show for their stuff. So I was thinking something like that, just like seeing who wants to be in that if they're not like obviously incorporated or anything. But yeah, I don't mind plugging friends stuff. It's an open internet for everybody.
Yeah, there's no time slot to compete for podcasts like you've said. So.
Yeah, I think Dow's trying to be subtle because he just started a B-Source podcast called
he did.
The Axiom Archives with James Fletcher. So maybe go check that out if you guys like B-Source. Mm-hmm. I feel like we missed some stuff, so I'm gonna scroll back up. This is my favorite part of the video when we're just silent for a little while. Yeah. I think everybody likes that a lot. Those nice mouth sounds. Also, Portia, if you're still here, you just said Sailor Podcast at some point, and I gotta know what you mean.
I think she means you are a Sailor Podcast.
Oh,
if
yes.
You are a Sailor Scout.
Someone drew me a Sailor Podcast.
You did, and it was kind of wonderful.
Yeah.
On your other podcasts, we sometimes get hilarious Pause for Police, Pause for Children Playing. Does PWT get the same treatment?
Pause for Crime. Pause for Crime is a big one.
Pause for Crime. Pause for Airplanes on my end. I live near an airport.
Pause for Dog. Pause for
Ice Cream.
Pause for yelling. All right. See you later.
Bye, Riley.
Riley, I know you probably have left by now. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's what. Okay, yeah. So that's what she meant. That I am Sailor Podcast. Yeah, somebody, a listener of Sailor Business drew me a Sailor Podcast, and it was very sweet.
So what does Criff mean? Is it good that all?
It's a Star Wars swear.
Okay. Does it mean cool?
I don't think it does.
It's the S word essentially. It's the S word equivalent.
I don't know what he's saying.
I can't parse that then.
All three of you, because he said bless you two, then three, and then he said all three of you.
Because there's three of us. Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Basically, S word.
Okay. He's saying to him.
Okay. I thought he was calling us Criff.
I get it.
I got it now. I'm back on board.
Yep.
Let's see. Alan, would you be willing to like live stream or something to do a live stream or something to help people understand how to make characters for this game or how a lot of things work? It's a bit confusing.
I've thought about that. I've thought about doing YouTube videos actually, and posting them probably on the Hey Jake and Josh or the PWT account, of kind of segments of how does this game work. But the problem with that is then you would see just how much of the rules that we sometimes
the thing about
ignore.
I will shoulder a lot of that weight in that this
I will also let Josh shoulder that weight.
This system is complicated and I don't want to deal with it, so a lot of the stuff we just kind of like we're gonna do this now and this is fine. So we skip a lot of the mechanics or just bend them to work for us. We don't play strictly by the book by any means.
No.
And a lot of that is just because I don't want to deal with all of the prerequisites and math and all of the complications that the game puts forward.
We started out trying to do it honest. And after a couple levels up, we realized that half of the leveling up features are bull.
Yeah.
And they don't make sense, and it's bad.
Yeah, the features and edges system, I can see what they're trying to do, but they're not executing it in a good, fundamentally good, easy way.
It's half good. If it was all edges and there was many edges as there are, plus all the features turned into edges, that would be good. But it's not. It doesn't work the way we want it to.
With all of that being said, one thing that I will go to bat about PTU is that it is an open license. It is an open game, and it is currently in development. It is right now, I think, at 1.6. They are going to release a 1.7 that includes all of the Alola updates at some point soon. Yes, I have read the books. Yes, I know how they work. And I would be so happy to walk you through character creation, that kind of thing. You can always reach out to me on Twitter. DM me or just like tweet me
at Alan_Cells.
Yeah, at Alan_Cells, and I would be happy to work with you. But I have thought about doing a YouTube series. I think it would be kind of helpful. And it would be very by the book. This is what the rules say and stuff. But the nice thing about PTU is, like I said, they're learning, and because it's open source 1.7. I stay on their forums fairly frequently just to kind of keep up with what's changing. And they are listening to a lot of the community feedback on 1.6 and incorporating it for 1.7.
Yeah, you did have to go there recently to see some stuff for some new Alolan Pokemon.
Yep.
That maybe show up.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, if you listen to the interlude.
Well, yeah.
Dowd, I think it's kind of funny. If Alan had longer hair, he would be my personal savior for just being Alan. So my hair comes down to my shoulders. I have it kind of in a man bun right now, so it is pretty long already. So
I would not call that your shoulders.
It's short. It's medium short.
It's like right here.
It's
right
coming
here.
down to your shoulders the same way I'm 5'5".
Yeah, whatever.
And then I'm rounding.
So, but yes, please just let me know. Tweet me at Alan_Cells. I'll be happy to help you out. And again, that's something I'm thinking about doing.
I think that'd be really cool. And then again, you would be like, hey, why don't they do any of this stuff? And the answer is because it's funner the other way.
Yeah.
Yep.
The way we do it, part of it is Josh not liking rules. And Matt
I don't like rules. I play Dungeons and Dragons and I use those rules because they make sense and they're fine.
Yeah.
I don't like how complicated specifically the trainer level up system for this game is.
But I also don't like that if we followed all the rules, it would just be like playing the video game. But
that and a lot of the rules,
I don't want that.
There are a lot of percentages. There's a lot of
the math gets bonkers and
the math gets super duper complicated.
So like in order to like get rid of a lot of that,
like fishing is ridiculous.
Yeah. Fishing is a nightmare. So when Josh fishes, Alan rolls just like a percentile and is like,
just roll on a table to see what you pull up and then have a Pokemon battle. That's all fishing should be.
Well, and even capturing, because capturing is based on the level of HP the Pokemon is at, any status conditions, any injuries, and all of this are percentage points based on 100, and then you have to roll a percentile dice, but before you do that, you have to actually roll a d20 to see if you throw it and hit the thing, then you have to roll to capture it, and it's just lots and lots of math. Yeah. Like I said, I can go over all of this math in a YouTube video. I could probably sit down and do that. Stay tuned.
Says, if it weren't a podcast, the rules would be fine, but because it's narrative, ignoring that makes it smoother. Yes, absolutely. That's for sure. Plus, story is better than rules. I think that's our brand. Is that it's
story is better than rules.
Story is better than rules.
Pokemon and clothes.
Crappy teens. Matt earlier said he would try to make a Savage Worlds hack of Pokemon, and somebody asked what we would port PWT over to if we had to. I don't know. I really like the Rememorex system, but there's no character growth there. That's like for like one shots and stuff. D&D is too much. Honestly, if we were to port it, I don't like Fate. I feel like
you classically hate Fate.
Yeah,
I also did not like Fate.
I don't hate it. Fate is like 2 degrees away from being perfect, but because it's not, it's very, very not what I'm looking for. I would rather just make our own system like from scratch. Josh already has capture mechanics kind of worked up.
I've worked on a lot more than just that.
Well, I've seen the capture mechanics.
Yeah, the capture mechanics are because
so.
I'm trying to figure out like a smooth battle system, and like, but I can't do that without changing everything.
Yeah,
so it's a process. I will start sharing stuff as I get like farther along in ideas, but
I will say this for the mechanics. You always hit a Pokemon. Well, let me take this again. I always get hit by Pokemon. They never miss me, and that's how it is in the game. So that's very accurate, if not frustrating.
We are also asked, in what ways have you modified the rules to fit everything better for you?
We've ignored a lot of them.
Yeah, we modify them by forgetting about them and ignoring them.
I have very much simplified Pokemon capture. I still do the roll to see if they hit with the Pokeball, and then from there I do a percentile to see if they catch it. But the mental math that I do and the math that I am supposed to do are two vastly different things. What I do is a lot simpler and straightforward, and again, it's just kind of based on, HP situation, that kind of stuff. Weirdly, PTU does not have rules for if you make friends with a Pokemon, which very much is on our brand, and I'm very happy that is part of our brand. So that was really important to me, that a Pokemon could choose to go with you.
Yeah, that is part of the Pokemon World Tour United system.
Yeah.
Not the Pokemon Tabletop United system. Is like, hey, come on, hey, come on. Which I think we've probably gotten more Pokemon by being like, hey, come on, than we have.
Yeah, because
catching
ever since Harmony, I felt bad about fighting them.
Yeah, I don't. I still fought some. I caught two.
I will only
recently,
fight like aggressive wild Pokemon. Otherwise, I will just be like, here's some beef jerky. Get in this ball.
Come be my friend.
I like that, and on the same token, I don't like it all the time. You know, like I feel like that should not work every time, unless it's important, because it kind of devalues the friendship
jerky. Also does come with me convincing you why coming with me is a good idea. Except for the Zubat, he just wanted some jerky.
He
booped the button when he got it.
Yeah.
So.
And your hand was covered in poop. So much poop.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I was fine.
You were fine.
Did I pull out an umbrella? I feel like
you both had umbrellas, but his hand was outside of his umbrella, so his hand and arm were covered in poop.
That is true.
Gross.
Let's see.
Do you watch any of YouTube Abridged series?
No.
I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged for a very, very long time. DBZ Abridged is another really good one that I like. My favorite Abridged thing ever is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie, The Abridged, because it is the funniest thing on the face of the planet to me. I can watch it over and over again and still laugh. So,
Katie asks here, will Cobalt ever remember he has a beautiful Shinx he ignores? Yep.
Stay tuned. See you in September. How old is Raleigh? Scoot, he's like 24, right? You said like 24?
75, 8. Is this another Victor?
No, he's like 24. He just very
people that Raleigh was Arceus. God.
No, he's look. I'll edit this out. It's fine.
You'll just edit it out.
Yeah, I'll edit it out.
Okay, cool.
What's Cobalt's dream car? Hey, do cars exist?
We haven't come across any cars or vehicles really, aside from boats
and a truck.
Did we did come across a truck?
I feel like there are cars, but we are walking, so we're not super.
They're not super necessary in the world of Pokemon. There's better ways than cars to get around, because this world was crafted around the idea of these animals that you can use to do anything with.
So his dream car is like a Tauros.
Yes.
Let's see.
Dream bike then? The nice shiny glittery blue one.
Jumping one
from Riley Cycles.
Dream roller skates. BK Ratch Tech, but roller skates. Hey, if anyone's got a line on BK Ratch Tech shoes, I'm a size 9.5. And I want them more than I want anything in the world.
Victor wants moon shoes.
Those bouncy like kangaroo shoes.
Those break so many ankles.
Victor would get 3 bounces in and break both of his ankles.
And he would love it the whole time.
We just have to cart him around for the rest of the show.
Has Alan ever vetoed a TBD turning into something?
No,
I don't think so. You've been very liberal with what you allow that dinner to do.
I feel like maybe you should start putting your foot down because I turned him into a peer, and that might be a little much going forward. That was like a special circumstance.
That was just a shortcut to get us to the truck that I think Alan wanted us to get there a different way. That was a Breath of the Wild. We're doing this a way we're not supposed to, but one that works anyway.
But here's exactly. I don't want to punish you for being creative. I think
it's not punishing if we do stuff that is maybe
if we're cheating.
Yeah, veto that. I don't know how to veto cheating. Let's see. Johnny Calamari asked, how much teen girl research goes into Rose's outfits? Well, I've seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer about 100 times each, every episode. So
to Shannon a lot.
So and it's mostly just me asking Shannon. It's a lot of like, Shannon, what do? And then she just draws something, and then that's what I get. And then in the interlude, Shannon was there the whole time, obviously. And I was like, Shannon, what the hell is this dress called? How do I describe this? And then I said it perfectly, which is how you know Shannon was there. I would not have remembered that. Going off Riley's question, is it going to be Nurse Jenny or Officer Joy?
Riley asked, are the heroes invited to the Jenny Joy wedding?
Oh, yes.
Rose has a standing invitation because of family.
I said they don't have to invite me. They're like second cousins. If they don't.
Well, but I think it's just one of those things where the whole of the family is invited.
Okay, so Jenny weddings are affairs then. They are
affairs. They are absolutely affairs. Most of the time they don't get
region
married.
when a Jenny is getting married.
That's fair.
Those are the big crime days.
I just had a thought though.
Well, no. Okay, hold on. I don't
want to say it because if you'll actually go, I want to.
No. Let's stop this right now. I've said 5 million times, and no one seems to listen. The entire police department is not exclusively comprised of Jennies.
Right. Jennies are exclusively cops, except for now. But cops are not exclusively
There
Jennies.
are other cops.
Although we have only run into Jennies as cops so far.
For the joke. And Alan keeps forgetting or ignoring what I keep saying to him about how there are other cops besides
a
Jennies.
little of column A, a little of column B. You've also been in the smaller parts of Kanto. Being fair. Pewter and Cerulean.
The biggest city
Vermilion.
The biggest city we've been in so far, I think, is Vermilion.
Yeah.
Cerulean's got to be like, at least in our kayfabe, kind of.
I like to picture Cerulean as like this tiny little creekside town with this
but it's like a hipster town
in the middle of it. That is Trey's gym.
So let's see.
Lewis, that is Stickley's. That is not our PO box.
I will never forget that jingle. Yeah, I could write Stickley.
Do y'all remember Zoom? Do y'all remember the show Zoom?
I remember of it.
It is the only reason I know Boston, Mass's zip code. Boston, Mass. 02134. Send it to Zoom. Yeah. 6 in your head forever.
I've never seen Zoom, so I don't know.
So want to see a gay Pokemon wedding? I mean, it's happening.
That's going to happen, probably.
That is going to happen. Does Looker and his crew exist in PWTU? Listen and find out.
Oh, cool.
I have plans. I have thoughts and plans.
Riley said Officer Johnny's. Shannon did a series of group chat exclusive drawings of gender reversed PWTU. And it was Rust Jenny and Rust Johnny. And so I guess in that canon, then yes.
I cannot remember Girl Cobalt's name.
It was Kobe. Yeah.
Kobe
and Victoria. Yeah, she was like watching a movie that she didn't want to watch or something, and was just drawing stuff. There's also a high school AU that she drew.
That was adorable.
Of the Pokemon as people, that also is only thing. Scoot says, wasn't that Josh Bro's idea? No, his idea was other than that, but also I've always said from the very first episode that there are other cops besides Jenny's. My friend Josh wants to be on the show in a sort of extra legal capacity. So we gotta talk about that because I think his idea would be very fun. Someone's arresting me. Johnny Calamari is saying someone's under arrest. I don't know who that is. Could be anybody.
But no, I would imagine they keep their names. That they would still be Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny. But I mean,
yeah, they don't need
read
roles.
Well, no, like if Jenny took Joy's last name, should be Officer Joy.
Maybe they just don't. Maybe they just keep their names.
That's what I'm saying. I think they just keep their names, but they're married.
Please don't tease us with group chat exclusives. Sorry, I can't.
Oops.
Oops.
Can't help it. Group chat's popping off, man. It's pretty great.
To be fair, it's also usually just a lot of pictures of cute animals.
It's just like a lot of like, hey, I saw this tweet about this husky Pomeranian mix, and it's like a little wolf bear puppy with a big head.
And then I'll just send a gif of a cat being a cat.
A cat just like standing up.
Startled cats are my damn favorite thing. I love them so much.
I follow a Reddit called R Zoomies, and it's like dogs just running around being adorable. And I'll send them.
There is a whole Reddit dedicated to startled cats. It's my favorite.
That sounds like a good Reddit. Sounds like one of the good places on Reddit, and there are not a lot of those.
There's no good place on Reddit. Never read comments.
Oh well, yeah, that's just an internet law. It's just like don't read the comments.
But yeah, kind of going back to where we were. Yes, you are going to start seeing more police officers who are not Jennies, but it's going to be in some of the bigger cities in Kanto. The group chat is it is actually where the name Cool Kids Table came from. It is a group message on Twitter
Shannon.
Yeah, that we just jokingly called the Cool Kids Table one day, and then when we were throwing around the idea of doing another podcast, it turned into, well, I mean, we've already got the name, so.
Yeah. Also, Night Matt.
Night Matt.
It's probably Thursday over there. All right, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who Kitty Goes Raw is, and it's driving me crazy. Just give me a first name to work with. I feel like I know who it is, but I don't want to say in case I'm wrong, and I don't want to sound like a dink. Yeah, Joe, you should also go to bed. It's the same amount of time over there.
Yeah. Although Joe, I'm pretty sure is
just doesn't sleep.
Nocturnal.
From what I've heard, he just doesn't do a sleep. So any other questions? And we got anything else? Jackie. Okay, yes.
Got it.
That's who I thought it was.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Hit us up with some cues. Unmask the monster. Which one? Pepper? Pepper's a sweet boy.
All of them are monsters. They're all
pocket monsters.
I have a biscuit.
Oh yeah, Alan.
Jams.
Alan made little jammies for a biscuit toy.
I did.
Also, I call Lillipups biscuits now.
I do too.
That's just like my brain did a find and replace on the word Lillipup and turn it into biscuit. Also, same thing with Yorkies sometimes. Sometimes I call Yorkies biscuits because that's what I would name a Yorkie if I got one. Because that's the best name. And that's also how you know that Alan didn't name it, because Alan is historically very bad at naming Pokemon.
It's all the time with this.
Yep. This is my life, guys. This is my life.
It's just us being absolutely unprepared to start the thing and me being mean to Alan.
And me being 30 minutes ready 30 minutes ahead
30
of time.
minutes early, yeah.
Here's a good one for Alan. Does Ghost Boy, i.e. Pepper, does his old owner have a family? Does Isaac have a family?
Yes, Isaac has a family.
Ooh. I mean, they probably wouldn't recognize Pepper. He's a ghost now.
He is a ghost, and he's evolved. But yes, Isaac has a family. I have Isaac's story too. A lot of these incidental characters, I know who they are, why they're there, and if they have the possibility to return. So keep an ear out.
Let's see. Alan, did you have a story before you started, or are you just winging it? I think we've pretty well established that Alan does some winging it, but that's not where he starts.
I think the skeleton, let me guess, and then you can answer. I think the skeleton is there and you're winging it around our decisions. Yes.
Exactly. So I have a full outline of what is going to happen this season, or what I want to happen this season. Just completely, fully done. But it is just that. It is an outline. And I am gently nudging you guys in the directions that I have planned. But to me, part of being a GM is being ready to adapt to what your players want to do, because typically what your players want to do makes a better story. So that's kind of what I want to stick with.
Admiral Potato asks, what about the miners near Pewter City? Just trainers, just like trainers that you would encounter and battle with, I think is what.
Or are you talking about the scientists outside the
Scientist is a different story. Shannon and Dowd and all of them, that's a different story. But in Mount Moon. But the miners, they were just trainers.
We fought miners outside of Pewter before.
Right. Yeah. Oh, going back to what the hardest episode to edit, it would have been that one if I didn't cut that down to a 3-minute battle from 45 minutes. That's when I decided that stuff was not going to fly anymore. That all that math we were going to have to figure something out for that.
Can you confirm or deny if we'll see more shiny powder?
We still have a vial of it.
I still got all mine, so maybe. I meant to give it to Sky to be like, hey, what up with this? But I forgot that I had it. Jake Mason forgot that Rose had it, so didn't work. What would you ever have Victor leave the party, Alan? I don't like that. I don't like that prolonged pause.
Listen and find out.
Alan.
Maybe.
We'll see. Wait, remember that thing I said about bad ideas? We'll see.
Remember that thing about how Victor was only supposed to be in one episode?
Real deal question. How do you go about selecting background music used in PWT/U? Well, I don't do background music in Pokemon World Tour proper anymore because that episode, that podcast got to be kind of a nightmare to edit. So I got rid of a lot of the extra stuff that I thought would be fun before I had 4 more podcasts.
In true Jake and Josh fashion, we were very ambitious when that
we had
started.
We had a lot of big plans.
We had a lot of good ideas, but we also do a lot of other podcasts, and so we couldn't dedicate the time. And by we, for editing, I mean strictly you, exclusively me. Alan does Cool Kids Table, which is a weight off my shoulders. And for United, it's I have like the very slightest amount of musical acumen, but not a very lot. So it's like, what do I feel? And then I'll just like search in the sidebar like Pokemon, and then all my Pokemon music will come up, and then I'll be like, is this? No. Yeah, you've only had to ask me once. I think you were like, what's like a theme park sounding song?
Yeah, that's the one that I was like, I don't know anything. Because I didn't play most of Gen 3, any of Gen 4, any of Gen 5. So I don't
remember what we went with.
Ferris wheel in I think it's in black and white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only one that I had to ask Josh on because I was like, I don't know what to do. I've used some Metroid music too in the caves. The cave was my favorite as far as musicscape goes. It might be a little too quiet in retrospect, but I wanted it to be subtle and to kind of like sneak up on you. That's the other thing I struggle with is how loud should this music be? Is this too loud? Is this over it? I have 2 music tracks. One of them is 8 decibels quieter than the other one. If you want to get into like the real nerdy nitty gritty stuff. And that's because some songs are very loud and some songs are not very loud. So I need to be able to bounce between them. Does background OSD cost you anything or like get caught in trouble? Nah, it's the fucking Wild West, man. Sorry. Oops. Sorry.
It costs the amount of the album to purchase because we do buy the actual soundtracks to get the music.
We own them. Here's a fun thing to prove that I do buy them. 1 o'clock in the morning when I was finishing episode 30, I had to, or was it 30 or was it? I think it was 30.
You were working on 30 for so long that's a safe bet.
I think it was 30. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I needed to download a song so I could use it for something. And my iTunes name and profile just was like, that's not your password. You have to make a new password, which is a process. So
it's ridiculous.
I spent about 40 minutes making a new password and then connecting it to every device I had because it requires that. And then I bought the $1.29 song that I needed to use. So Pokemon, I do buy them, and then I tell people to buy them in every episode. So plus the podcast isn't big enough. No one's listening to us. No one at Nintendo's like, hey, we got to shut this down. I mean, they might. They're Pokemon's pretty petty like that, but I doubt they would find out about it. Someone's saying Victor is our Brock. Does Brock leave a lot?
He leaves at the end of Indigo and he comes back during Advanced, I think, and then leaves again.
That like 2nd edition Pokemon.
What, Advanced?
That's a really good joke about D&D. A lot of people like that joke about D&D.
Okay, good. I'm glad for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I just missed it completely.
You can
No,
watch
because
the
it's
video.
Advanced is the one in Hoenn, which was the Game Boy Advance game. That's why it's called Advanced.
Oh, that actually made a lot of sense.
Oh, you made an AD&D joke. Never mind.
Yes, I did. See? Have you thought of doing something like a GoFundMe for one-time donations as well as your Patreon? No, I feel weird about asking people to give us more money.
Yeah.
On top of what people already want to give us. I have thought about just setting up a I think it's called Ko-Fi, which is like where you can give me $1.25. It's like tip me, like buy me a coffee. And it's like, if you like my editing, you can just give me $1.
Is it kofefe.com?
No, it's not. It's KO-FI.
Okay.
But I'm like lazy and just haven't set one up yet. Scoot said, would you ever pay to advertise yourselves / be against someone else doing so? Asking for a friend from a year ago. I wanted to advertise on the Adventure Zone, but they sold out in a minute, and I had to work on Black Friday when the things opened up, which is the only time they were open. So I don't want to, but I would like to on like specifically the Adventure Zone, because I feel like that's about that's the quality of people I want listening. Like that fan base is very good. So if I was going to be like, hey, broader audience at large, it would be them. But other than that, no. Word of mouth. We got you guys. We don't need a million people.
Yeah.
You know?
If we had 1 million people, I don't know what I would do.
So we got a question. Do you guys do anything to get into character or help immerse you?
No, I don't usually.
Well, to be fair, Cobalt is you.
Cobalt is me. But so yeah, I guess so. He's different, but
it's like the 1998 WWF U plus version of you.
Yeah.
You turned up to 11. For Rose, I just think in her voice for like a day. Like when I know we're gonna record, I just like think in her voice and just try to like become a crappy teen. It doesn't take long. It is not hard to become a crappier person than I am. Like to just be like me, but like more of a jerk.
For me, it really depends on what we're playing, who all's involved. These guys make fun of me because sometimes Victor will slip and go British for some reason. Like some words just trip me up.
That's my favorite. That is always the outtake at the end of the episode. If you accidentally go into totally not his accent, that's always the outtake because it's my favorite.
And I have a reset word, and that reset word is biscuit. 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 And I will repeat biscuit to myself until I am back in Victor.
I can confirm he does just say biscuit over and over if we catch him.
Like 3 or 4 times. He'll like look to the side and be like, biscuit. until he gets back into it. It's the best. Campaign could be another podcast to advertise to. Yeah, totally. They're pretty cool. I want to get James and Kat on the show. We kind of talked about it a little while ago.
That would be an ultimate dream.
I feel like Alan might have some heart palpitations.
You think my skeleton?
Look, I already naturally have heart palpitations, but yeah.
But also when we were talking about that, we were like right in the middle of recording like all the big important end game stuff. And I was like, I can't ask you to be like, hey, do you want to like send an official email to be like, do you guys want to come on in a month or two, in like a couple months? Because I feel like that's like kind of a weird thing to ask people who are very busy. So say back to Cat and have it yet. First of all, you can't pack and have it yet. You get your car towed.
Mm-hmm.
You get your what card? Your what
also, Jake's accent is not Boston.
Mine's not Boston. It's New Hampshire, which is a mix of. I mean, it is New Hampshire, but you have to divide it into two. It's like down East Maine plus a little bit of Boston.
And yes, I do keep notes on voices I want for NPCs. I want there to be a lot of diversity in the voices. I don't want NPCs to sound samey. Sometimes if I'm just throwing in a random person, they usually don't get a voice. But I try, especially if I know the NPC is going to be around for a little while, I do try to give them something as distinct as I can.
You're pretty good about it. It's usually if you have like a very distinctive voice, they don't double up. One time you did give somebody Bonnie's voice, and we were like, "Is Bonnie there? What?" And you're like, "No, I have to go back." And we're like, "What was that?"
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Alan looks like this is from Danielle. Alan looks like the human embodiment of the concept of a plush toy. I think that's fair.
Look, I'm a literal and figurative giant figurative marshmallow.
Yeah. He gives great hugs. He's a living breathing. Yeah, he is a living breathing hug.
Yeah, he does give very good
hugs.
Yes, my favorite NPC to voice is Victor, probably with a bullet. My favorite Pokemon to voice, I just can't. They're all so much fun in so many different ways. I really love Treble. I love the big ones, the main buddies. Just all of them for different reasons.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pick a favorite that you do either. Sakura.
For Scramble, I always found myself that I have to like sit up and project.
I love Sakura just because it's very
that
versatile.
Bulbasaur voice is just
it's very good.
It's so good.
I do also very much love Treble.
Alan, say Lotad.
Lotad.
Oh yeah.
I do have that as an M4R. Like I have that as a ringtone if anybody wants it. Because
hey Shannon.
Oh, Shannon here? Shannon, yeah. What up? I wish you could have been on, but her like parents are in town, so she's like.
Would you say favorite is the one you're voicing at the moment? I don't think I've run into one that I just didn't like doing. I'm trying to think if there's one that I just didn't like.
I can't.
Zapdos is probably the closest, simply because that one actually hurt a little bit.
You were just screaming at your
screeching like a terror bird. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, when I do a lot of the screaming ones, I like try to angle myself away from directly into the microphone, so it's not like ear bleeding. But yeah, I am sure my neighbors, I live in an apartment complex, I am sure my neighbors think I am just crazy.
I know for a fact that my neighbors can hear us yelling because I can hear them at all hours of the night. Like not my neighbors in the building that I'm in, the ones next to the building that I'm in, we can just always hear them. And I don't know if you guys have met me. I tend to yell a lot. Hi, I'm Jake. I'm excitable. So I feel like they definitely think I'm a crazy person.
And yes, I have thought about doing a YouTube video of at least the first 150, and just working my way through them. That would take a minute because yeah, that would take a minute. But I have thought about doing it. I thought it would be kind of fun to do.
That would be good. Because there's a lot that you haven't done that we've talked about a couple. Like, what would you do for this? And you're like, I don't know. So that would be a cool thing for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the people would like it very much.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Calamari says non-binary Zapdos though. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was a real good touch. I described it as like there are three genders. There's Moltres, there is Articuno, and there is too angry to care. That was good. I also really enjoyed playing around with like filters and stuff, which I had to write down in case Zapdos comes back because there's like specific filters for that.
Jumps is a lot of fun to voice. Not Pokemon,
great.
But the Harry Potter game you played.
Jumps is great, but guess what? Jumps is the most ear-piercing thing Alan has ever done. I feel like you can hear him say jumps through my headphones into my microphone, through his headphones into his microphone back into mine. Like that's how I feel
about Scramble. Like I feel like I can hear it once my voice hits a certain pitch. I feel like I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, Jumps is very loud. That's why I cast Muffliato on it. You need to be quiet, buddy. Apparently Joe practiced recording some voices and the neighbors called the police because he thought they were being attacked.
That doesn't happen to us yet.
Not yet. Nope. Well, I mean, if my neighbors had called the police, they would get in trouble for some illegal activity they are definitely doing.
That is probably true.
Oh no, it was 5 a.m. when she heard jumps. And she was driving. That's a bad time. Yeah, Alan, keep it down with the jumps. Well, I mean, we're kind of over that.
Yeah, I am learning.
I don't think there's any super loud voices. Scramble's a little. I had to tell you to like chill out on Cyndaquil because Trouble got number one a little too loquacious early on there, and number two just very loud for a while. But I think we perfected that. So
one of my favorites to do, though, that speaking of loud, is Cubone crying. I think one of the most fun.
I'm glad that's one of your favorites because there's plenty of opportunity.
Yeah,
I think one of my most like fun recording sessions was the contest when it would just cut over to baritone and he was just wailing.
Portia, welcome back.
Welcome back, Portia.
Hi, Portia.
I don't want to blow up her spot, but she did fall asleep, which I understand. I totally get that. Shannon said apparently David can hear her through the floor when we record, but she is very loud IRL. I mean, we're all doing a lot of yelling. There is a part in the interlude where I had to like move a lot of stuff around because we were just all yelling jokes over each other. And it was funny, but unlistenable. So, yeah, we've been recording for 7 years.
How long were we asleep?
We reference that Angry Beavers episode all the time.
I love that episode.
I don't think it's made it to air once, but man, that's just a constant here.
I'm not gonna bop you into next week.
Let's see. Anything else?
It is not bad that you love Cubone crying. Baritone is a precious, sweet angel in a way that Scramble is not. In a much more pure way and less destructive way.
She is a precious angel. What are you talking
They're
about?
kind of foils if you think about it.
I disagree with the premise entirely. That's another character trait of Rose is that she is 100% fully behind her Pokemon. So everyone else is terrified of Pepper and the monsters that who swears the most? Me, probably.
I think I've only sworn once. And that was in an outtake.
On this podcast, I don't think they come out of me very often.
Normally, I can rein it in for PWTU. I'm pretty good about it.
I have a lot of practice from Morphin Grid, but also a lot of the time I swear to accentuate the joke, and so it's done on purpose.
I work at a school, so I'm really good about capping it.
I'm a potty mouth. I swear on the floor at my work, and I'm amazed I have not gotten in trouble yet. Yeah, Shannon also does swear a lot. I think we're trying to win something. And then for a while it was just Josh. Like Josh just like kept, and then he was like, I feel real bad about it.
Especially on the Morphin Grid. For a while I was just getting mad at things.
Look,
well, you had to sit through
Turbo. It was Turbo.
Turp was a rough time a lot of times. Let's see. Gotta scroll back up. Who swears the most? Me.
Scoot, would you guys ever accept one-offs on CKT in the Fallen Gods campaign? I feel like we just asked this question of ourselves a little while ago. Maybe I'm making that up.
I don't know. You mean like a guest DM or guest?
I think he means like a guest character.
Guest character.
For an episode.
I don't think so on Fallen Gods, just because like that's usually the one where we're like, all right, we got to record a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Like, we got to like sit in and
Fallen Gods is our buffer. If we don't have anything else, we need something to get out. We'll do like 4 episodes of Fallen Gods.
Because that story has literally been sitting with me for 10 years.
So long,
I can just go back and be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm good.
I
don't even need my notes.
Saying this about D&D, if I went back 10 years and told myself I thought this, I wouldn't believe me. But man, that's just a fun game to play.
It's really fun, right? I would like to try to play 4E for a joke, because I miss positioning strikes beyond the telling of it.
Okay, so there are a lot of things 4th edition did wrong. The leader class was amazing.
Oh no, dude! I'm
like
talking
Warlord and
as a rogue, I could move you wherever I wanted. It was beautiful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Those were like leadership where you could take command and move people in position.
Enemies. I could move enemies.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying too.
It was amazing.
Like it was pretty sweet.
Hold on, we missed a couple of
on
Cool Kids Table, Shannon and I are dead tied because like I get to be just nasty on that show, and I like
you can thick veiny spoon. Do you think Rose?
Alan, sorry to ruin the idea that you've had in your head for 10 years by making this spoon a dick. But to be
Do you
fair,
think Rose influences her Pokemon to be a murder squad? Yes, she does.
no, that's
I don't know.
beautiful little babies.
I don't know if Rose influences them as much as those are just drawn to
That's
Rose.
just who wants to be with me on my team. And to be fair, only 2 of them are very murdery. The others are mostly tame. Let's see.
Scramble in Cobalt's backpack will always be my favorite thing in any AP ever, and I'm dating a guy from another AP podcast. I appreciate that.
High praise.
I just love that she has completely organized everything and can create a list in her Pokemon language.
Yeah, here's the thing. I've gotten a new backpack since then, so I can't let Scramble ever go back into my backpack because she will probably kill me for real.
Yeah,
I did not maintain.
You actively messed it up.
I did just shake it.
You
when she wasn't looking.
This is off topic. Who edits Kingdom Smarties? Me. I do. Dad says he kind of wants to get the experience. Editing podcast isn't like oh, you gotta try it.
It's a pain in the ass. I don't recommend it.
I actually kind of like it, but
Jake, do you come home from work and immediately edit podcasts? I feel like you don't have time to have a life. Well, the fun part about that is that I don't have a life anyway. I would be doing nothing with my time if I wasn't editing podcasts, which is one of the reasons I do so many. I gotta fill that hole in my heart. This is a joke. These are jokes, people. Everyone, these are jokes. Okay, these are all jokes. No, I come home, I take a nap and a shower, or I take a shower and a nap. I don't nap in the shower. That would be crazy. Then I usually by 3:30 or 4, I start editing until whenever Josh comes over or I have to eat, and then we record. I edit a lot. I've put in up to I think 50 hours of editing in a week. It's just something I like doing, and I want to be the best at it. And I want I work very hard at it. It's not like a thing that I don't like. So, any advice for starting at 20-somethings with a dream to podcast? Yeah, do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do you think for a minute when we started a Power Rangers retrospective podcast, we thought it was going to catch on in any capacity?
Yeah, like it's super easy to start. Here's what you do. You buy a microphone that will record your voice. Don't spend a lot of money. Do not spend a lot of money. And then start doing a podcast. And if you make it past 8 episodes, get a better microphone.
The first time people start talking to you about it is awesome.
Surreal.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. And
you could also take my path into it and make a joke to another podcast about how you could do something for them and then get dragged into it.
Yeah. It's a chaos ladder. Yeah. Oh yeah. Scoot was on
is a ladder.
That was a real good episode. Anyway, no, I'm talking about the new one, not the one with the Chaos is Ladder one. That was also pretty good. Anyway, so Scoot says you guys heard the first episode of the Morphin Grid that he was on. That was done like 9 months beforehand.
Didn't you say that was with a microphone that you had plugged into your phone?
Oh no, that was with the phone.
That was just with the phone. I had an app on, not this phone, but one like it. It was
like
called this exact phone.
It was called iTalk, and all you do is open it and hit the record button, and we set it on a table in front of us.
Yep.
And talked about Power Rangers for however long that episode ended up being.
It was long, and then when we moved here, we're like, all right, we got to like for real do it. And so we recorded. I got some like $15 USB mics that were more trouble than they were worth. And then we recorded on that. And the first episode we totally beefed because we plugged it in, and when the mics were on, if you recorded while it was plugged, his laptop was plugged in, you couldn't hear anything.
There was feedback.
There was just feedback.
You could hear it, but there was this awful buzz just like over everything.
So then we recorded again, and that was that. And then we just kept doing it. It's super. If you make it past 8 episodes, you're good. That's usually the limit people hit when the podcast stops. So just like get a cheap mic and just do it.
Yeah, stick with it. It will be a while before people find you.
Yeah,
don't let that discourage you.
Yeah,
because when they do, you'll have this like awesome little community of people who love all the same things that you do, and it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, you got to bet on yourself, and I think it works out.
Get microphones. So that's the advice, I think.
Yeah, definitely have like a actual mic, no matter how bad it is. And then if you want to spend like a lot of money, hit us up, and I'll tell you how this setup works.
And also edit it, even if it's like a little bit, just to cut dead space and like yeah, just make sure you go through and cut garbage out because a lot of podcasts don't.
Yeah. Let's see. how long do you guys usually record? Well, for United, we're trying to have a strict hour and a half out, if not a little shorter, because I would prefer that.
We do a pretty good job of sticking to that, except for bigger episodes.
Yeah, usually, and we have guests we know we're going to go long.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go 3 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the point where whenever Shannon's on, we can usually keep it to like hour and a half, hour 45, because like we're all in that like rhythm together because we do it so often. Shannon says she deleted the recording once, just one time. It was fine. The episode was better for it.
I have also done that where I just dragged a new episode to the trash and deleted it, and then immediately realized what I had done.
Yeah. It happens. And then for Morphin Grid, we've got that down to basically a science. We can get in and out in 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the episode. This is from Riley. How do you like curate your audience? Like, have you ever had to deal with having an audience that you didn't enjoy? I don't know. I know it's a weird loaded question, but it's something I'm running into right now, and it's stressing me out. Here's what you do. Every time somebody who is less than stellar, let's say, pops up, immediately do something that you know they'll hate, and they will either stop listening or stop talking to you. We had somebody who was like a super duper Gamergate guy, and then I was like, "Hey Shannon, can we put out like a Pride Day, a Pride Month picture?" And we put it out, and that guy deleted his account afterwards. So I think like just be as good as you can, like as good of a person as you can, and make sure everyone knows that like you're not here for any of that garbage. And honestly, the bad people weed themselves out, and then you just the cream
focus on the good
rises to the top.
Just don't pay attention to them, because that's what they want. They want the reaction out of you, and if they don't get it, they will fade away.
Yeah. Here's another tip: don't block people, mute them, because they love the satisfaction of being blocked. But yeah.
And I think Dowd brings up a really good point. He says, I have some advice. Don't focus on making good radio. Focus on having a good conversation with your co-host. One of the things that I've always heard from Jake that I try to keep in mind whenever we're recording this is that podcasts are a uniquely intimate experience because your audience is one person. Yes, lots of people are listening to it, but one person is listening to what you're doing at a time. So you kind of create an environment that you'd want to listen to. It's not necessarily something that you're broadcasting, but it's focusing on creating an environment that works between the people on the podcast. And if that works, then you're pretty much golden.
Yeah. It's when you're not doing radio, when you're doing like podcasts, like everyone's like, oh, it's like radio, but on demand. Well, no,
not everyone says that.
Well, no, in the early days, that's kind of what people thought. And so like a lot of like people who've been around for a long time are just doing radio. They're talking to a very broad audience. That's not how podcasts work. Like if more than 2 people are listening to a podcast at one time, it's an event. Like people are having like an Adventure Zone listening party. But like for the most part, I am talking to you specifically, nobody else, just you. I'm talking to Josh.
You're talking to me.
And then, and I'm talking to Alan, I'm talking to Shannon, and it's through that.
Right.
But only one person is hearing it. So like you want to make it the one listener feel like they are in the room with you. And that's really it, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's a sense of inclusion.
Yeah. Because like, there's no fucking money in this. We're not doing this for the money. This is the love of the game. So, you know,
yeah,
that's
just make sure you're not trying to do a radio persona. 'Cause I suffered from that a lot when we were the first few tries that we tried to get something going. I was like putting on a voice and a character of like, I'm on a radio show. Don't do that. Just be you and talk to whoever you're talking to. And people will catch on to that.
Yeah. It also really helps if, like Scoot said, like, if you're a guest, just be cool. Don't worry what you sound like. Just have fun with the people you're talking to. Absolutely. Like if you are ever a guest on the show, we're just people. We're no one special. Don't be nervous. Just have fun with us. You will talk over us. We will talk over you. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. Yep. Just have fun. Just be yourself. That's super, super, super easy. Have you guys ever thought of doing a purely scripted thing? I have by myself. I haven't really, it hasn't gotten past that. I don't know if either of you guys have.
I have. I've thought about doing something purely fiction and scripted.
I have not. I don't have the time to try to do that. Not that I don't have the time. I don't have the
Inclination.
Yeah.
It's every time I think about it, I'm like, that would be cool. And I'm like, you do have 7 other podcasts, Jay.
This quote of mine keeps coming up.
Please
tell me what episode
What is that
that's
from?
and what that is referring to. I don't remember.
Here's the fun part about doing a podcast for 300 episodes is you don't remember any but the last 10 you did. And a lot of people are like, yeah, I'll be good and I'll remember. And then you get 100 episodes in and you're like, I don't remember any of those episodes at all. So Josh says jokes like that.
I'm glad it landed, but I don't remember it.
It must have been a great joke.
Yeah, good for me.
Shan says, as someone who's super nervous about almost everything she does, treating it like a conversation is the easy way to get over it. Yeah, it's you're just talking to a person. Yes, you're being recorded. It will be on the internet for potentially infinity people to hear, but like
13 people will hear it.
But well, I mean,
at first, give it time.
Like a couple hundred, it's like a not insignificant number.
We are over 100.
Yes, definitely
believe that
at least 100 people listen to us. But yeah, it's very easy just to forget that the microphone is there. Please do stay near your microphone though.
That felt rather pointed.
No, and not just you. A lot of sailor business guests forget to do that. If anyone's thinking about being on sailor business, just stay near your microphone. Please and thanks. The 100 best people. Yeah, pretty much like Macho Man Randy Savage said, and nobody before him, the cream rises to the top.
Yeah.
So
Slow Motion Believe from Cool Kids Table is my favorite moment. What's y'all's favorite podcasting moment?
From us or from anywhere, because the Saber of the Tapir Isles on Adventure Zone was the dopest thing I've ever heard in my life. But for us,
mine's a tie.
Okay, yeah, you guys go first.
Flint being naked, covering his fists in salt, and punching a slug to death.
That was good.
And
that was very good.
The Act 1 interlude, Cobalt Batmaning through a skylight.
that was very good. Alan, what about you?
God, I think my favorite moment that we have done, at least PWTU, is the scene with the discovery of baritone. I think we nailed the tone that I was going for. The music that Jake picked, it just was absolutely perfect. It rang as clean and as true as I wanted it to go. So it was lovely. As far as CKT is concerned, Lord, I really liked Bloody Mooney. I really liked that stupid monkey. And I think my favorite part of Bloody Mooney was Jake's character running to the door and going, "Hey guys, we need you in here." And just smashing all of the tropes.
Can I tell you that I did not like doing that? I did not like the second episode of Bloody Mooney because of how the exact opposite of what we had set up in the first episode it was. And now when we go back to Bloody Mooney, it's totally different. It's a completely different genre now. So that's what we got to deal with. I thought it was fun, but thinking about it afterwards, I'm like, man, I wish that monkey didn't eat a face. The Dino episode was very good.
I love the Homeward Bound fake out. That was just so funny to me.
That was good. I think for PWTU, I don't know what my favorite moment is. Probably Matt went to bed. Matt's not here. Oh, it's totally
Matt's not here.
It's totally killing that gauntlet. I felt like the just the coolest dude in the world. I like when anytime Scramble does a good metronome, I'm very into that. I don't know. I know it's probably for CKT. It's anytime I get to be Tuatha. I just love being Tuatha. She's super fun.
I'm kind of hoping that Scramble's metronomes start to kind of fail a little bit.
I mean, that would be
She
nice, right?
She could use a growl or something every once in a while.
She's used like baby doll eyes and,
That's true,
and turn it
that's
into a big Togepi. Yeah, I mean, again, that's what the table dictates.
That's true.
Do we have any Pokemon hot takes? Yeah, Gen 3 sucks, except for Zangoose. Hot take. Scoot, don't at me.
They pander too much and it's annoying.
That's the other thing. Yeah, it's getting real rough seas.
Yep.
Scoops is also really good. Scoops is a good moment. Oh, here's my favorite joke. Whenever I get to say a name wrong 100 times, that's my favorite joke in the world, which is why I do it as often as possible. And I did it on this live stream earlier because it's my favorite joke. What?
Scoot just sending an ellipses.
Yeah, you know, I know it's his favorite generation. It's his favorite. I get that. And I love you very much. You're my brother and I love you. But that game sucks. And those Pokemon are bad and boring is the problem that I have with it. Let's see. Shannon, what's your favorite? I know you're in the chat. We'll just have to read them so people later can hear it. What are your favorite podcasting moments? Any other big ones? I love the entire Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie episodes. I Love You, Ivan News parts 1 and 2. For Morphin Grid, those are some of my faves. Make 'em Meet the Gak is Hall of Fame for me. Yeah, you're on the spot, Shannon.
I also super love the Brian stuff. I tend to like the heavy stuff.
Here's the thing about that. I hate Brian and I hate the heavy stuff. So I don't hate Brian. It's just frustrating to roleplay against Brian.
Yeah.
And so I legit do get angry. Like that is Josh Nichols being mad.
It was
in the situation that he's put in.
Yeah, it was like coming off him in waves. Shannon says Sierra in the tree moment for
that was a really, really good one.
That was real good.
Scoot, I'm glad that was fun for you. He says he loved when I got actually mad.
Yeah, it's listening to it back was very good. Being in the room was not difficult, but like I could tell Josh was uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, my way of dealing with a confrontation like that
is to leave.
Yeah, is to get out of it. But I could not because we were doing a thing.
Riley says he loves the heavy stuff. I am 50-50 on it. I feel like it has its place, but I feel like at the end of the day, the world outside these podcasts is very bad and very heavy right now. And it is part of our duty to make you forget about that. And that can get kind of tricky when some serious business is going down. I think it needs to be there, but I think it should be like a 15% to 85%, I would say, like amount of it for Pokemon.
I think, yeah,
anyway,
for a Pokemon game,
sure.
Yeah, I could see that.
Alan, your feelings on there?
I mean, I don't know what to say.
Okay, all right. Shannon also says for Cool Kids Table, anytime she's playing Sullivan, she's had that character since high school, and he's a huge fun dork. There's a moment in one of the newer episodes that was very, very funny between an NPC Alan made. He says he made it a long time ago, but it feels like it was made to make Sullivan uncomfortable. It was very funny.
So the character's name is Mara. You're going to meet her. She has literally been an NPC or a character that I've put in games forever. And she's probably my favorite NPC, and I've made her into a PC before. And she's just fantastic, and I love her.
She's very fun. I'm excited to see more of her to get a little more depth into her, other than like spoilers, kind of horny.
Kinda.
Look, she tried.
She was ready to nail all three of us when we walked in.
Look, she forgot who she was messing with. Let's just say Mara versus Tuatha. This is a showdown.
Rock of the Ages.
Yeah, Shannon said she's like.
Y'all went super robot-y and froze.
Like Alan, you got robot-y.
You went You guys
And the
froze
live-
completely.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I think
can
we
hear
might be
you.
calling it.
Uh-oh.
We are not moving.
But
oh, there we go.
Yeah, we moved a little.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Hey guys, I think it's time. But the live stream,
The podcast live stream.
You can tell what my brain is scheduled to
Yeah.
to say.
Mhm.
Yep. God's shutting us down. We gotta get down here. Also, Shannon says Mara will be talking to her lawyers.
Yeah, probably.
So in summation, I do think that the dark stuff has its place. I don't know, context. A lot of it needs to be it works in context.
It does.
So that's my only problem with sometimes when we get there, I'm like, let's back up a little bit. Cause like I came out here to have a fun time with my Pokemon friends. and maybe I'm worried that Victor's dead and Biscuit specifically. I feel like you gave several people near heart attacks with that. So that's good job, Alan.
You're welcome. Dramatic tension.
Good job. So yeah, I think we're gonna end it there. I think it's been quite some
It's
time.
been like 9 hours.
It's been at least
Yeah, it's been a while.
About 3
like
hours.
3.
This was
Hey,
very eventful.
If you guys haven't learned, I can talk forever. That's just my
Mhm.
superpower. Why do you think I do so many podcasts? Will you guys ever visit the Harry Potter game again?
I plan on
I
it.
pitched Freaky Friday episode. Is that for what?
For cool
Riley,
kids. Or are we gonna in PWT
Cobalt and Rose switch bodies?
Look, because there is a precedent in Pokemon
For
with
people switching,
Bill
yep.
and Clefairy.
We'll put it in our back pocket.
I feel like we're catching like a lot of things are maybe
Are just
coming
now
through.
catching up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So will we ever visit Harry Potter again? Probably. There's a lot we want to do in our next year in terms of like revisiting stuff and doing cool things. So we will see about that. I'm going to level with you guys. I feel like Harry Potter would be a lot more fun if we were not playing us because it's just a crazy thing that Alan had to do 500 backflips through so many hoops just to make it work when we could have just made little Harry Potter characters. It would have been so much easier. It was a lot of fun. It was very, very fun though. So I would like to go back to it.
I would like to revisit it, but maybe as new characters. Because I mean I'm not super into Harry Potter anyway, so that was already lower on my list of things that I wanted to go back to. But playing as me is a lot more awkward than you would think it is. I'm a very terrible person, and it really shows on Harry Potter. Maybe I want to keep a shred of my character intact. The pacing on Harry Potter got wonky. Yeah, it did. It felt like 3 episodes were the first act, and then we didn't do a third act. So guess we got to go back to do something. Shannon would like to go back to Serenity. I would too. David was super fun to play with.
Yeah, he was.
I loved playing Kimmy Jin, who was named after a Pitch Perfect character. If anyone didn't catch that. Riley said grits are amazing. Just trying to start a fight. Blocked, banned, reported, calling the police. This guy's getting banned. Boop. Goodbye. All right, yeah, I think we're gonna end. Unless anybody else has any super pressing questions they need to get out right now. I'll give you like 30 seconds.
Well, yeah,
for us to
we're on
catch
like
up.
a delay.
Yeah.
So, how's everybody doing? You guys
Doing all right.
doing all
yeah,
right?
doing
Yeah.
pretty good.
Alan?
Getting a little hungry. A little
Doing all
peckish.
right.
Yeah, I didn't eat.
Yeah.
I don't think I ate dinner.
I had
happens
lunch. That was
sometimes.
it. Yeah.
Alan, eat dinner.
Yeah. Before we started recording.
Smart.
That sounds like a smart person
Mhm.
job. We recorded half of a podcast about Devin's ghost tale, the Bloody Boy. So,
I am so sorry for you. I can't wait to listen to your pain.
I mean, it had to happen eventually. So, Dippin' Dots, you eat them like a monster, Jake. No,
He
eat them the
does.
right way. That's not. No,
Here's the thing. I'm not saying it's monstrous. I don't eat dipping dots at
I
all. But I'm saying in the context.
Oh, I think we
we're
froze again. Oh, there we are.
In the
okay.
context, when they say eat like a monster, they mean you put your tongue in it. And yes, that's how you eat it.
I wouldn't say
look.
monster. I say barbarian.
Right, let's clear this up right now. They are made from the highest of sciences, the highest order of science.
Humankind
Okay.
peaked, and we use that to make
We made
freaking
Dippin'
dipping dots.
Look, we got to the moon. We made Dippin' Dots. All downhill from there. So it's made to liquid nitrogen, so it sticks to your tongue. That's done on purpose. You dip your tongue into the dots. That's the whole thing. That's it.
Isn't it? Is it not dipping dots? It's
Dippin'.
dipping dots.
It's dipping dots. It's dipping
G.
apostrophe.
Oh, maybe I hit the G.
Yeah, it's dipping.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm from
G.
Mass, and sometimes I'm very not from Mass.
Yeah, you say what? Forward?
Forward.
Yeah, that's very dramatic. Anyway, I will not have Dippin' Dots besmirched anymore. Yeah, someone's really into SpongeBob in the thing. So cool with that.
I have watched SpongeBob and I've saw the first movie.
We talk about SpongeBob a lot on the
We
show.
do,
You should
yeah.
check them out. But it melts together and gets all mushy. That's when you use the spoon. The spoon is for when your hand heat melts it down.
Okay,
But you
guys, we'll see you next time.
all right, goodbye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
We love you.
Bye.
Stop broadcast. Did it stop?
Just click
Did
it.
it stop?
I don't